Hello, hello, I'm the amazing Dinah. I stream Dungeons and Dragons on Twitch, and you're currently watching the Iron Ballista campaign episode 1. This is a YOLO-style mercenary campaign. What does that mean? It means that each player only gets one character, and if they happen to die, they leave the table until the next full campaign. Mercenary style means that every one shot will have a different cast to it. So we're gonna mix up the player groups. We're gonna hope that nobody dies forever. And this is episode 1. If you're interested in joining my mercenary campaign, you only need to join my Discord, link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and let's get on with the show.
Yeah, hello, I'm White, that's my name. I'm a little bit sick, so do excuse the lack of voice. My character is called Argentus Vulma-Thalati Coyle, but Professor Coyle works fine. He is a 7.5 foot tall warforge. He looks a bit toned-ish, lanky. Has these beautiful elven cloak on that looks a little bit too short, and just some normal leathery clothing on top. From what you can see of his metallic skin, they have some elven details to them. You know, smooth and a little elegant in its design. Walking behind him, is also a 7 foot tall copy of himself. It looks identical, other than the fact that it's much larger, much thicker. It has this like barrel torso, tree trunk arms and legs, and has these 2 gems, one red, one blue, and one yellow, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Pink.
Pink. That was it. It was blue and pink. These gems that ever so slightly, subtly give off a little light. He's called Albume. He looks pretty much identical, like a twin, but he's not much bigger. And he's just dressed in normal civilian clothing, a white shirt, some green beige pants and boots. Nothing much. He has a backpack on. And in between them, you can see what looks to be a metallic rabbit, just sort of hopping between the two. Yeah, I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you. And next up we have Bearzy. Go ahead and introduce yourself and your character.
All right. Hi, I'm Bearzy. I will be playing the character Percy Eli Aurelius IV, the ex-scion of the most noble house of Aurelius. Eli Aurelius is a human, the token human of the group. We always need one. He stands around 5'10", a shock of red hair that seems to be like way too tailored, but tailored in the sense of bedhead. He generally wears the brightest and most fashionable clothing he can find. Currently, it's some like medieval style hose, a tight top covered in vertical stripes of various different colors. He's got a set of green, like kind of emerald green eyes, kind of reflective in light. He is his frame is best described as delicate. He does not look like he's done a hard day's work in his life. There's not a single callus on his body. He can be most likely found lazing around pretending to do something useful.
I didn't know you made yourself.
Stop it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Next up we have Spec. Go ahead and introduce yourself and your character.
Hey, I'm Spectre, and I'm playing Quietus Plumethorn. He is an owlin with mostly brown and whitish feathers, but you'll see his right wing and right arm is covered in black, essentially shadow feathers. And you'll see around him, in occasional spots of his body, there are scales littered around, blue scales. He stands at about 6 foot. He has a pretty light frame. He's not really like super active or super like toned or anything like that. And he wears sort of noblish garbs that are white, gold, and blue.
Excellent. And last but certainly not least, we have Spoony. Go ahead and tell us about yourself and your character.
Alright, my name is Spoony. I also stream on Twitch quite a bit, and today I am playing Kayvar Seaborn, the half-elf, illegitimate child of a noble family house. She dresses primarily in purple. She has a lot of varying tattoos, and she is also quite a prestigious wizard. But she also carries a pretty thin rapier on her side. This is primarily in like little purple silks that are fairly free-flowing.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, this is exciting because this is literally the first job that this campaign is running. So, expect some quirks. I've had kind of an unlucky day. If you'll notice, I'm not using my VC face avatar. That is because I spilled coffee all over everything. And when I say everything, I mean it. Myself, the campaign notes, my iPad. Apparently, there's liquid in the charging port now. The notes are all blurred. The bird. Yeah, the bird is covered in coffee.
This is buzzing.
I had to change everything from like the chest down. So we're off to a start. Please forgive the already scuff as I make my way. Music today, I am using the Guild of Ambience YouTube channel. It's over under the dice rolls. And yeah, is everybody ready to begin?
So ready.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Excellent. You guys have chosen to sign up for this particular job. The job seems to be assisting a green witch in finding herbs because a local village has come down with a rash of snow fever. This seems to be a pretty straightforward and easy gig, and you do know that the reward for it is about 100 gold each. So, as the day comes, you all gather into the guild leader Macadelia's office. It is a small but incredibly neat space. Everything is in its place. Everything is very clean, everything is very orderly, and there is a military precision in how everything is arranged. You see Macadelia sitting proper and upright behind this desk, regarding you with kind of a benign neglect. She doesn't seem very invested in this job, but she looks at you all and says, "Alright, is everybody ready to take on their first gig? I don't suppose it'll be very difficult for you all, but if anything does happen, take this crystal." And she places a crystal onto the desk. Anyone who activates it will immediately retrieve everyone who went with it back to this office. Once you activate this crystal, it breaks, and I only have one, so please use it cautiously. I don't wager that you'll need it, but since this is the first job of the Iron Ballista and I don't want to be embarrassed by anyone perishing on such an easy task, I'm giving this to you. Darcy, and you see the halfling Darcy next to her. She has a thick black blindfold on, and she is holding this board with this set of tarot cards. And you hear her say, "All right, we have a report that the Green Witch is called Elidora. She should be able to brief you on anything else that you need. And if you need anything from me, just keep it to yourself." And you see the tarot cards glow, and it forms a portal in the center of this office, kind of at your toes. You guys almost have to take a few steps back, and it explodes outward with this sort of silvery light, and beyond it, you see a quaint forest with a river and a cottage in the distance. Background
Oh.
sounds are a little loud.
Delightful. Well, Percy will step forward to the desk, take the crystal. He's currently wearing like a like the tricorn hat with a frankly ridiculously long feather of bright red tucked into it. As in, like, he has to crouch below doorways or otherwise he might kink his feather. He's gonna take the crystal and kind of tuck it into the band of his hat. Well then, this looks quaint, and he's going to quickly like readjust a mug that's on the desk to face a different window. Anything else we need to go retrieve? Anything else we need to know before we go off into this quaint little walk?
As you attempt to rearrange the mug, she puts her hand on it. If you would like to move that mug, you need to make a strength check.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, when she tries to stall me, I'll just back off, but I'll start casting Mage Hand to move it when she looks away.
As soon as you put your hand on her mug, there is an intense sense of unease that permeates this office. It's almost as if the feeling of a growing thunderstorm before lightning strikes, as this very precise and ordered figure regards you with disdain. And she says, "Do you honestly believe that you have any right to touch my mug?"
Well, my apologies. I didn't realize we were in the middle of menopause. I'll leave. Don't worry about it. Goodbye. Goodness gracious. Just simply trying to readjust things. You see, you've got the coffee mug handle facing the doorway, which just seems a little look, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't have to explain myself to you. So we just jump in the hole in the floor, or like what?
Magadelia looks like she's using the counting technique to calm down from wanting to chuck you through this portal, and she simply says, "That's basically the premise of it. Think of it like a window. Go ahead, just jump through it. It'll be fine."
Oh, you minx, I think you're lying to me. Anyway, we're going to turn to the rest of the party. Shall we?
Yes.
I'm gonna take the crystal from him. I don't trust him with it.
But it brings my whole look together. Why would you? Okay, fine.
It does go very well with the feather.
Fine.
Well, thank you too.
From the belt.
Thank you too. We'll come back victorious. I'm sure.
Professor, you of all people know that we have high stakes in whatever we do. Please, at least
yes,
bring some
yes.
sort of...
No worries, miss. I completely understand. I will do
I've
my
just become
utmost.
so flustered because some Neanderthal has touched my mug and now it must be cleaned
What's a
at
Neanderthal?
least 4 times. It's an ancient orc relative. I would have thought you would known as a
Oh,
professor.
Neanderthal! How dare you! I'll have you know I'm the height of fashion.
Darcy, please clean this and sanitize it with at least 4 prestidigitations before returning it to me. Thank you, dear.
Use the good soap, Darcy.
He says, I don't take orders from you.
That's crazy. You
And she
should.
walks out.
Well, I think we should leave, right? And he starts to make his way through the portal with his 2 buddies.
You just look
I
at
just go.
Mycadelia as she kind of rubs the bridge of her nose, trying not to get a migraine over this situation. At least try and be professional, please. I have a reputation. I prefer not to be tarnished by incompetence.
Of course, we'll do our utmost to finish this and come back victorious. Yes.
Quietus Kayvar, as some of the more down-to-earth personalities, I'm hoping that you two can bring some reason to this expedition, and at least a bit of caution.
I promise to try.
I'll do my best.
And she kind of gestures for you guys to enter the portal.
You know, I think she's into me.
Go first.
Yeah, Percy, you see the bigger one of the 2 professors sort of like shimmies you into the portal.
Percy will take off his hat, bow at the waist towards the lady behind the desk, who I've already forgotten the name of. Leave me alone, I'm ADHD. And he will then simply fall backwards into the portal.
You see, your eyes are met with a gaze that could not be more bored or unimpressed.
I take that as a challenge. And then I'll fall backwards into the portal in a very dramatic fashion.
So all of you enter this portal, and as you pass through, you feel this kind of shimmering dust on your skin, almost as if you're lightly being coated in sand, before it fades away and you fade into this scene that you had seen through the portal. You land gently on the grass on your feet, and you can hear in the distance the running of water as this river seems to be cutting through the forest. The cottage itself is in a sort of glade, and it does seem to be around noon. There are flowers in bloom currently. Spatterings of purple and white and pink glitter this meadow, and ahead of you this cottage is modest but well kept. The outside seems to be white stone, and the roof is thatched with fresh grasses.
Do we know where we are?
You would know that the village on the job board would have told you that the village is called, or it's not a village, it's a hamlet, and it is the Steelcrest hamlet, but the Green Witch actually lives about a mile or so outside of town. So she lives more deep in the forest, and the village is more into the flatlands and the meadows.
Gotcha. All right. How about we go greet our contractor? Yes.
Wait, way ahead of you. Already walking towards the cottage.
As you guys...
Leaving Percy lying on the ground.
Yeah.
What? Not even a hand up? No.
Albume will pick him up and throw him over his shoulder.
Oh, you're so strong. Absolutely, yes. I'd much rather not dirty my boots.
So
Says nothing, just walk towards the cottage.
as you all approach, you do see that the door is propped open with what appears to be a bucket full of water. Inside, you can see that somebody is rummaging around looking for different odds and ends. As you approach the door, you can smell the different herbs and tinctures and syrups kind of being brewed here. There is a cauldron and the fire that seems to be bubbling with some sort of mysterious brew. There are half-cut herbs on the counter. As you glance up at the ceiling, you can see that it is just rows and rows and rows of drying herbs and flowers. The woman who is rummaging around seems to be on the smaller side. She appears human. She has brown hair and brown eyes and freckles, and she seems to be about in her 30s. She is on the smaller side, both in height and build. She doesn't seem to notice you. You just hear her muttering to herself. Where is it? Where is it? It's not here, it's not there. Where did I put the blasted thing? Oh, hello? Who are you all? Are you sick? Oh my goodness, are you sick? Do you need aid?
Oh, hello, Miss Eladora. We're from the Iron Ballista.
Oh, yes! Oh, the mercenaries I heard. Oh, you're just in time.
Yes.
And she rushes over and she shakes each of your hands very warmly. She looks confused at Percy's situation, but she goes behind the Albumore porch and she'll shake your hand too, Percy. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, my name is Elidora, as you know from my posting. Yes, Elidora Flitleaf. I am the local Greenwich here, and I'm so glad that you've come. We are...
Flitleaf?
Yes. What, are you making fun of my name?
No.
Very uncouth.
She looks
Very
a bit
uncouth,
hurt.
Coyle, to make fun of
She
someone's
almost
name.
looks like she's
I would never. I wouldn't have.
I truly
What's-
apologize
It's a
for the
family
barbaric
name.
actions.
I am Professor Coyle. It's a pleasure.
He's not a real professor.
I can assure you, I am quite a real professor.
Exactly what a fake professor would say. I am Percy Eli Aurelius IV. This is a pleasure. We're here to gather some herbs or something.
Aurelius? Of Lux's Aurelius?
Just the same. Although I don't tend to associate myself with their main family house anymore.
What? I am surprised that they would send nobility for my little prop. Are all of you important? Oh my goodness! I hope there's not a premium for that. Are you two important as well? And she looks at Quietus and Kayvar.
I'm only important if my brother dies.
Oh my god.
That's incredibly macabre. But what an interesting tidbit.
Sorry. How about...
It's fine, he's 89. He'll be fine.
Sorry. How about you all go sit down and discuss the job? I'll go make some tea. How about that?
Oh no! You sit. I'll make tea for you. I'll make tea
Please,
for
I
you.
truly insist. Your house also needs some things moved. Just leave it to me. I'm fine.
Please. Oh,
It'll be
go ahead
fine.
and roll
And he
a
walks off.
persuasion check.
Absolutely. Bonk. 17.
Well, I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable here, so if that's what needs, over here's the teapot, and you can see the fire, that's obvious, and there's water in this bucket, I just drew it from the river, so it's all fresh, and there's
Of course,
tea
just leave
here,
it to
and
just leave it to me.
She points to a bookcase that spans nearly half the wall that is just filled with different jars of tea.
Oh.
So she kind of looks a little anxiously over her shoulder as she feels like this is her house. She should be serving you. But she does sit down with you all and says, all right, what would you like to know?
Oh, well, there were a sickness going around.
Oh, yes. So this is what's kind of strange, okay? It's snow fever, but as you can tell from outside, it's almost high spring. Snow fever usually only strikes in the fall or in winters that have been incredibly wet, so it is very unusual, and it seems to be spreading at a much faster rate than I'm used to. The stock of witch eyes that I used to make the medicines for them, it just wasn't enough this year. That's why you're all here. I need you to help me pick more witch eye.
Okay.
Alright.
Where does it grow?
It grows all around the forest. It looks like a how to describe this? Any one of you can roll a nature check.
All right.
I'm off reading tea jars.
14.
All right, Arrhenius and
Ooh,
Kayvar,
21.
You guys know exactly what witch eye is. It is a variety of flower that grows in the forest, and it grows in pairs, and it looks like almost a lily that's black on the outside, has a purple center, and the stamen is yellow. So it actually looks like a pair of eyes in the forest, which is where the flower gets its name. It does have a lot of medicinal uses, and you do know that it is used to treat snow fever.
But it sticks out in the forest. Yeah.
It does. Usually people get a sense of being watched, and it's because they're seeing witches' eyes in their peripheral vision. So the forests that usually grow a lot are often called watchful forests.
Gotcha.
I see. So, is this surrounding forest a particularly watchful forest, or
Oh, yes, definitely.
we'd have to go further afield?
No, there should be plenty around. I don't have the numbers to pick the amount that I need. Normally, I would be able to pick enough in a season, but the villagers just keep getting sicker and sicker.
What would be the quantity that you need?
Well, I would suppose if you could fill this, and she brings you a flour sack. If you can fill this, hopefully I'll have enough.
Yes, we'll do our best.
The forest isn't particularly dangerous, so you shouldn't run into anything more than like a wolf or maybe a bear, but you could probably scare them off. We're a long way off from the wilds.
Is there a particular trick to harvesting? Do you want them, or do you want the roots?
She brings you a flower. It looks like it has been sliced about 3/4 of the stem, and it does contain both flowers and then both petals that kind of look like, both leaves that form eyebrows over it. Yes, if you could just pick this much, and that should be fine.
Very well.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay. I would stay clear of the village, since the snow fever is spreading so quickly. It is about a mile north, and she points the way. So I would just give that a wide berth.
Very well. Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Elidor.
Of course. How's the tea coming, Sir Percy?
Oh, it's coming along lovely. I really am. I consider myself quite a tea enjoyer, but goodness gracious, you have quite the collection. Also, everything's in the wrong place. Don't mind me, I'm just doing a little reorganizing.
Oh, but it's alphabetical. Oh.
Well, you see, it's alphabetical, but it's not color coordinated. The things, it's just here. Just leave me to it. It's fine. I'll get to.
Well, the guest is right, I guess.
I'm like readjusting the jars so that they're all kind of color coordinated, brights to darks, and then also
Like a
rearranging some
maniac,
furniture a little bit.
Just organizing.
Go ahead and roll a d20, Percy.
Absolutely. The forbidden d20. 15.
All right, I will tell you what you have done. In a
Also, just like
DM.
I'm moving little bits of furniture here and there to make the room seem bigger and more open, and just a little bit of interior decoration. It's fine.
You can share this information at your own discretion. You guys roleplay amongst yourselves while I.
Oy vey. I will give the flour bag to old Bume. You can hold that.
Quietus looks at the
That
two
is
of
the
you and
event.
he says, "Is he normally like that?" I asked the two of you, and while I look at Percy, I say, "Is he normally like that?"
Oh, I wouldn't know. This is my first time encountering this.
I don't know. I never really dealt much with the Aurelius family.
I've only heard reports, but it seems a while back he did cause a bit of a stir between our two nations.
Now, you wouldn't be gossiping about me, would you?
No.
Gossiping doesn't become someone of your nature, you understand?
Percy, please, why don't I just make the tea? Why don't... She's standing behind you, like jumping, trying to stop you from moving her teas, and
But if we put the brights at the top and the darks at the bottom, it'll reflect the sunlight.
like
It'll look
this.
much brighter in the... Okay, all right.
she grabs one of the jars that's labeled Rose's Dream, and she goes and she makes each of you tea and puts the teapot in the center, and everybody has a cup, and she says, "Oh, all right. Tea just makes everything better, don't you think? I think."
So what are the effects of this tea?
Well, roses.
I have already drank it.
Oh boy.
Roses, supposedly are meant to improve your love life, but sometimes that's just hokum. Even us witches don't believe. In general, though, it's supposed to promote circulation.
Huh.
Coyle just holds the cup.
Oh,
He's-
right.
He
Sorry.
doesn't drink it. He just holds it.
I guess.
Oh no,
it's
it's quite
my
all right.
words,
I feel
gosh,
included
that was
just
rude.
having the cup. Yes.
She looks embarrassed. But anyway, so hopefully you guys will be able to pick enough. I just need it by the end of the week, so you guys can take your time. Well, not too much time, because, there are sick villagers around, so, do your best, I guess.
So you truly know nothing of why they're getting sick in the first place?
Well, it's snow fever. Usually that comes about because of wet grain. That's why it usually appears towards the fall and early winter, or during warm winters where there's a lot of moisture. Usually there's like molds in the grain, or the grain is too wet, and it makes people really sick. We haven't really had a lot of grain, but the villagers were recently digging new irrigation, so perhaps they have a bit of a problem with drainage.
As she's explaining this, do I see anything weird?
No?
Okay. Wonderful. I guess we're going to go out and pick some flowers then.
Yeah. Perhaps I can have a look at the village if we find ourselves in the area.
Well, I guess. Do you get sick?
As far as I understand myself, I cannot get sick. No.
Oh, okay. Oh, that must be very convenient.
Yes, it is actually very convenient at times.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that everything turns out okay, and I definitely believe that everything's gonna be fine.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Percy, you see something.
Ah. Oh, you're lying.
It's wonderful tea.
Oh, what?
You're
No,
lying. You don't think
no,
everything's going to be
it's-
okay. Would
it's
you like to
totally gonna
explain?
be fine. It's this.
Oh, darling, I've dealt with far more interesting political intrigue than this. Come on now.
I'm sure that you are, as a noble, incredibly learned and, very, very good at that. You see something.
I don't know. And now you're lying again. You're just insulting me. Come on now.
Oh, of course, I would never insult nobility. You see something again.
I'm not even nobility anymore. Ridiculous, honestly.
You
God, I went from the
fell
top
to
of the world to
common
being
man.
insulted by backwater witches.
I'm insulting
Jeez.
you.
Yeah, well, I know when you're lying and I know when you're sleeping. So anyway,
What?
Wait,
God, I
what?
rearranged it. Don't worry about it. So,
All of the iron ballista this rude. And she starts to cry.
Oh, no. Percy, please.
yes, we're
Let's
this
not,
rude and we know where you
Let's not
sleep.
threaten the our contract.
She insulted me first.
Well, okay. How about we start the day now with trying to find these plants? Yes. Let's go.
God.
Please forgive him, he's new.
What? So are you? Wait a minute. I'm feeling a little ganged up on here, fellas.
Well, I'll be happy to see most of you return. You don't see
Hmm.
me.
I will remember this. I interior decorate for free. I open up the feng shui in here, and this is the thanks I receive.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I was being condescending. It's just that nobility have always caused us problems. They're always taking too much for the village or disregarding what we're doing and the rights that we have to this land. I suppose I was taking that out on you. I apologize.
It's okay. All is forgiven. I understand. Nobility can be a little high-strung at times. I never really meshed well with them myself.
Well,
You didn't?
No, if you could believe it. I think they found me annoying.
Huh.
And then there was that whole thing with, Anyway, so
I did read the
But he
Oh,
can
you're
also-
that Aurelius.
he kind of like side-eyes Quietus for a second.
He's looking back at you.
Shall we go pick out some flowers and possibly see if we can find where this is originating from?
She,
Well, that's not really in the job description, I don't think. But
Job description, swab description. We'll do whatever's fun.
Oh.
Well, please get the medicine first. I don't want
Yeah,
anything to happen. to the
medicine
baby.
first, fun later.
Oh,
Yes.
Why not both?
She gives the sack to Kayvar, and she gives Quietus a pruning blade, and she says, "I feel like you two will keep things on task, so I'll give you the tools, and you know what to do with them." She'll give Coyle the flower cut.
The what?
The cut of the flower to show you how to cut the
Oh,
flower.
yes.
And then she
thank you,
hands
thank you, Dell.
Percy a jar of the tea.
Ah,
So
Thank
let
you.
bygones be bygones.
I much appreciate it. Also, you should really think about moving that armchair there to the other side of the room. You'll find it just opens the
Okay.
place a lot more.
I'll bring
anyway-
my pigs Percy up by the
let's go.
scruff and starts escorting him outside.
Oh, hey, whoa!
We will be back soon.
May you return safely.
God, it's been a while since I've been manhandled by a big, strong robot.
He puts you down outside.
Okay, you
Right.
guys.
Mhm.
Roll a survival check.
I'm not actually looking. I just cast Unseen Servant.
Of
I
course.
just tell the Unseen Servant to go fetch flowers.
Coyle will send
That's a
his.
stealth check.
Coyle
wrong button.
will send his little mechanical rabbit to go and
really?
scout as well. If that is a
Yeah, you can send the
separate.
How dexterous is the mechanical rabbit?
+4 dex. I roll. Coyle rolled at 0.
Coyle, I will get to you in a second. The rest of you, Percy, you find the forest to be comforting and only a little dirty. The kind of light pierces through the canopy of the tree in a way that actually lights it up in these very pleasing and aesthetic greens. The forest itself is lovely with little accents of flowers that actually makes the scenery relatively pleasing to look at. The rest of you, Quietus and Kayvar, you two very much know how to find these flowers. They're not mysterious to you, they're relatively common. So you guys can actually spend the next few days, if you like, gathering enough quite easily. Coyle.
Yes.
Your rabbit
Yeah.
does not understand the purpose that you are sending them to get these flowers, so it starts to consume them.
Oh no! No! I think I'll pick it up. Turn him off.
The rabbit is quite quick, so you're gonna need to roll a dexterity check.
Oh god. Oh, excuse me. It's +2 for dex. It's +4 for saving throw. Well, I rolled a 4.
You do not catch it as it bolts into the underbrush and continues eating these precious, precious flowers.
You need a hand with that, Sol, or are you just gonna let him run around and eat all of our flowers?
Oh yes, yes. If you could, he still has some malfunctions. It seems.
Uh-huh. Right, I'll just cast Mage Hand and attempt to basically just snatch the rabbit
Alright, go
while
ahead
I
and roll
sit at the
Arcana
base of a
check.
tree. So I'm gonna sit at the base of a tree, my hat's pulled over my eyes, I'm just enjoying the sun. I'm letting an unseen servant go pick up flowers.
Sure.
I'll
Roll an
burn
Arcana
the
check
spell
to
slot.
see if you can catch the rabbit.
Not 20.
Oh shit.
You catch the rabbit quite easily by the ears, bring it over, and it has an intact flower in its mouth.
Oh.
As it does that, yeah, you see that it just wiggles its nose at you and seems to be sniffing towards your tea.
Oh? I will open the jar and let him kind of put his nose towards it.
He puts his nose towards it, and he shatters the jar
Oh!
and scampers
Oh
away.
dear. Oh dear. Yeah, let me pick him up.
He broke my jar of tea!
I turn him off.
Quietus and Kayvar, as you're investigating these flowers and you find them quite easily, you know that you could do this in probably about 3 days. You'll have enough. Do you want to spend that entire time looking for the flowers?
I feel like you probably should.
Yeah, we probably should.
All right.
I mean, someone's to do the job we're being paid for.
Yeah, it's the first job, so you know. Yeah. Seeing as Coyle wasn't really made for this job, he just keep close to Quietus and Kayvar with Albuma, and just keep watch for any animals that might get too close. Trying to scare them off.
Quietus, Kayvar, Percy. As you guys are going day to day, you guys start to develop a rash on your skin. And the second day, you guys develop a fever. By the third day, you guys cannot leave your bedroll.
Oh.
Oh, help me, giant metal man.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Albuma, please get some more of that tea.
Was really hoping that this would be a surprisingly easy job of me sitting in some sunlight and making an unseen sewing to grab flowers, but
Oh dear. Can I get any sort of
Percy, I'm gonna say that I don't think you're. Hold on. I don't think you're sick. Quietus and Kayvar, you are.
Yeah.
oh, interesting. Why didn't I get sick? The first
Can
thing I'm
I-
going to... Oh, sorry. As you were.
Can I have a look at the flowers?
Yeah.
Inspect them a bit to see if this is really what we
Go
think
ahead
it
and
is?
roll a medicine check. And Percy, I think. Let
Well,
me ask you.
that's an 8.
No, actually, no. Yeah, Percy, you would not be sick. Quietus and Kayvar, you would be. And then Coyle, you can't get sick. So.
I rolled an 8.
You think that it looks like the flower that you're supposed to. You hold up the cut flower and the flowers that you're picking, and they look identical.
Allow me to take a look at that if you don't mind.
Yes, of course, yes.
Well, first of all, Quietus, Kayvar, are either of you medically inclined or know more about plants than I would?
I don't know. I was never that good at botany.
I'm just average.
Right. Okay, well, I'll give it a shot. I've picked up some random knowledge here and there. So I'm gonna like cover my face with a surprisingly fashionable mask. Like a
Sure.
kind of...
Perhaps you should wear some gloves as well.
I'm always wearing gloves. I refuse to touch the outside without gloves. I'm gonna post that prestidigitation myself, just to make sure I'm sparkly.
Sure. You look
And then I'm
amazing,
going
you
to-
smell amazing.
I smell great, I look great. I'm even flavored, if you believe me. So I'm gonna inspect the plants we've been picking a little closer. Also, wherever that jar exploded, the tea, I'd like to inspect that too, because the rabbit reacted weirdly to it.
Okay. You can backtrack towards where the tea was. It would probably take you most of the day, but you guys aren't really far from the witch's cottage. You guys are essentially spending the time combing the forest.
Well, first of all, I'll inspect the flowers we do have.
Go ahead and roll a nature check. Or medicine.
I'll do medicine if that's okay.
Yeah, that checks out. These are witch eyes. You do know that they do treat snow fever. There doesn't seem to be anything suspicious about the flower.
What do we know of snow fever?
Roll a medicine check.
It feels awful.
Fucking not history, not.
I could
God
tell
damn it.
you where snow fever has struck.
Well, that's a
historically.
0.
Yeah.
You think you know a lot about snow fever.
Oh,
you
yes.
think that snow fever usually presents with pox. Then there is bloody vomit, and eventually you turn inside out and explode.
Ah,
Yeah. I convey this information to Quietus and Kayvar. It's quite dire, I'm afraid.
So, like I said, not a real professor. The first thing I'm going to
Well, this is not really my
What?
area.
I'm going
what is your area of expertise?
Oh, well, I'm an archaeologist, actually.
exploding rabbits. So I'm going to... I can only do this once a day, but oh well. I'm going to put a hand on Quietus and then gently hum a song under my breath and cast Lesser Restoration and attempt to cure him of his illness. Because it applies for blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
Okay.
So if he doesn't get better, then it's illness. But if he does, it's poison. We're just knocking a thing out.
All right. So as you cast Lesser Restoration, Quietus, you feel better.
Oh.
Ah. So,
Have you
You've been-
perhaps...
you've been poisoned, friend.
Poisoned by what, though? What the forest?
does his flowers have, like, thorns on them, or...?
what did you say, Quietus?
Oh, I said, poisoned by what then? Would it be the forest or the flowers themselves?
Don't
Well,
the flowers have thorns on them, or no?
so it's either an airborne poison, which would be very interesting considering I'm not sick, or it's something to do with the tea that we were drinking.
But I didn't drink any tea.
You're also incapable of being poisoned.
Oh,
You don't have organs.
oh yes, you're quite right. I forget.
Oh my
sometimes.
goodness gracious. I'm gonna look over Kayvar.
Yeah.
Right. Just say for me, please. I have no idea what doctors are looking for when they do that. I just wanted to see if you do it. I'm gonna look for the symptoms of what I think snow fever is.
Okay, roll. You didn't medicine check. I'll say it kind of conveys here. You know that the symptoms of snow fever are going to be. Oh man, it's covered in coffee.
The symptom is you're covered in coffee.
Blurred vision, diarrhea, and vomiting are the symptoms of snow fever.
Right, so the first thing we're going to do is hold up 2 fingers in front of Kayvar's face. How many fingers am I holding up, and are they blurry?
Kayvar, they are blurry.
Yeah, 2, but I think.
Okay, they're blurry, alright. Have you been... No, there's no nice way to put this. Have you been leaking from the rear end in a manner most unfashionable?
Yes.
I'll take that as a yes. Have you been dancing at all?
If I wasn't dying, I'd be slapping you with mage hand.
Oh, please. Like you could catch me. Have you been vomiting at all?
Also, yes.
Do you feel like your insides are coming on the outside?
Coyle, I really need you to just not say these things. That is not how snow fever works. You do not turn.
Oh, I'm
Percy,
quite
what is your
sure.
passive perception, please?
Who?
Percy, what is your passive perception?
13.
There is something odd about Kayvar that
Mhm.
doesn't present with what you know to be of snow fever. They seem to have a rash that's going along their neck and is up near their face.
Oh, you have a rash. That's not snow fever. I'm gonna quickly look over the rash and look to see if there's like first of all a bite or like an insect thing, some sort of wound of.
Sure.
Did you perhaps rub up against some poisonous trees while you were leaking from your behind?
No.
Percy, you don't see any sort of insect bite. There are a couple little bites, but they don't seem to be near the rash, and it's just forest denizens.
Hmm. Interesting.
Perhaps we should talk with Miss Elidora. Maybe she would know something more.
Do either of you have any idea, Quietus, Kayvar? Ever heard of anything that's like snow fever but with a rash?
Dinah, how long does it usually take for snow fever to set in?
Go ahead and roll your medicine check.
Man.
Can I guidance myself?
Yeah, you
Oh,
can.
I haven't.
You should guidance
I see.
everyone all of the time. You like
Yeah, I'm gonna roll.
Baldur's Gate 3 and
See
just
how I
guidance
know
all
what I'm
the
guiding
time.
from.
I'll also hum a little ditty under my breath and give him a bardic inspiration.
Ooh, 16.
Oh.
Okay.
You also have a bardic inspiration, just for whenever you like. It can also be re-rolled at any point, because I got the motor potential stuff.
All right, Kayvar and Quietus. Kayvar, you know a little bit more. You know that snow fever usually sets in about 3 days. It'll last about a week. It's not usually fatal, unless the person isn't being taken care of. The witch's eyes are used as a medicine to shorten the duration of the disease more than anything.
Okay. It's normally fine, but I mean, it should pass in a week, less if I actually get medicine.
Oh well, I will go to Miss Elidora and get some for you. And he makes his way to the witch's house.
Right, it'll take you most of the day. Do you guys want to go with him? Kayvar, you're not really in a wait, did you heal Kayvar or Quietus? Oh no, you healed Quietus. Kayvar, you're not really
I
in a
healed Quietus.
state to move, but the others could carry you relatively
Yeah,
easily.
I'll will carry Kayvar.
So as you guys approach the cottage once more, it takes you most of the day to get there, and the sun is starting to crest down into evening. The door to the cottage is still open, but there doesn't seem to be firelight coming from it.
This is 3 days afterwards, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Miss Elidora, hello? You home?
As you guys walk into the witch's hut, you see that the candles that had been lit previously and the roaring fire has been put out, and you see collapsed in her bed is Elidora. She looks like she is incredibly sick, and she has a rash all over her body.
Oh, dear.
Oh, fuck.
Is she
Oh!
Who's there?
It's Professor Coyle, miss.
Did you get the flowers for the villagers?
Did we get all of it?
You did.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
it back.
Oh, thank
We have it.
goodness. And you see her lurch from the bed, but as soon as she stands, she immediately collapses to the ground.
Oh dear, hey, let me help you.
The
I'm gonna
villagers
quickly,
need
like-
this medicine. It's no time to be resting on our laurels.
Well, you are in
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh, you're in no condition to be working right now, miss. You should stay bedridden.
Percy, you see that she has moved the armchair into the position that you suggested.
Oh, darling. So, we don't think, well, at least I don't think it's snow fever. Snow fever doesn't present with a rash. Question, does the entire village drink from the well?
Not the well, but the river.
The river? What's upstream of the river, do you know?
No.
Because it's not an illness, it's not an illness, it's a poison of some kind.
Poison? Who would poison us?
I don't know, frankly.
Bigger question is how?
I'm thinking the river water.
And
Because Kayvar and Quietus both drank from the tea, which was made with the water she had freshly grabbed that day.
And you didn't?
Wait, did I drink the tea?
you did.
Well, I also did, but I don't seem to be feeling the same effects. But I'm also a little weird, so...
Well, you did have your magical companion do the picking for you, did you not?
I did, yes. It's bizarre. Anyway, more importantly, we need to find a way to cure this, because I don't know if what we've picked is going to help. We can try it, but...
Do you have any
Really?
more of that medicine, Miss Elidor? After ready.
Just this. And she hands you a vial which has a glowing purple syrup in it. It seems to be a mildly magical potion that mimics the color of the inside of the witch's eyes.
Have you already taken it?
I haven't. I wanted to make sure that the village had it first.
Well, the village is getting none unless you are cured. And I try and help her drink a little bit.
She tries to refuse. Your companion needs it more than I do.
I insist. If you are better, you can make more.
Mm.
I still try and get her to drink it.
She drinks it, and she just kind of lies back. It doesn't seem to have any sort of effect.
Immediate effect, yeah.
Mm. Can I change the terms of the mercenary job? I'll find money to pay you, but can you investigate upriver if you think that's what's causing this?
Of course we will. Of course.
Sure. Yes.
That jar over there.
Strange.
She points to one of the tea jars, and it just has a picture of a gold coin on it. And that's all I've got, but that's what I can give you.
Well, let's take the payment after we have finished the job. You said it's nearing like evening, night,
Yeah,
or
so the sun is setting. You guys could potentially make this a safe place to rest, or you can continue on through the night.
Well, if we rest up, I'll be able to cure Kayvar tomorrow, and then we can continue our investigations. What do you guys think?
yes, I do agree.
Sounds like a good plan.
Please help.
Okay, right, yeah, we'll cure. I'm going to ask you to do something really weird, Kayvar, and I need you to not question it, okay?
Fine, what is it?
I need you to sleep in that armchair I asked. That was the armchair that's been moved. Just trust me, okay? All right, wonderful. The rest of us should sleep around the armchair.
Percy, roll a d20.
Okay. Can I add a bardic inspiration to this? It's a 6.
This is fate.
Yeah. All right, sure.
All right. So you guys all sleep in and around the armchair, correct?
If they're okay with my weird shenanigans, yes. Which I refuse to
I
extrapolate.
can't really refuse, so.
I'm okay with it.
All right. So as you guys all wake up, you all wake up with blue hair.
Oh, whoops.
What the hell?
I don't have hair.
You don't, but the metallic plate that makes the top of your head is now blue.
Good morning. You all look
top feathers
amazing.
of my face are blue?
Yeah, the feathers at the top of your crest are blue.
Oh my god.
You guys look amazing.
Oh, what happens here? Is this part of the illness, you think?
Yeah, the universe works in mysterious ways. Anyway,
But how come I cannot get sick?
I pointedly ignore all of Coyle's questions and I go to cast Restoration on Kayvar.
Kayvar, your hair returns to normal and you're no longer poisoned.
Oh, I feel great.
Wonderful.
Why is my hair blue?
Anyway, we should go check up the river, right?
Quietus, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling better. I don't feel sick anymore, but I guess this blue parts of my feathers are a side effect, maybe?
Perhaps.
I'm sure
What a
it'll go
weird
away.
thickness this is.
I'm
How
sure
does
it'll go away shortly.
how does Alador look?
She is in bed and she has not woken up. She has regular brown hair.
What a conundrum.
Did you dye our hair while we were asleep?
No. You have my word. I have not laid a hand upon you other than to cast the one healing spell, I promise.
Did you use mage hand to dye our hair when we were asleep?
Sometimes things just happen, okay? We should go investigate the river before our dear host here gets more sick.
Yes,
Yeah.
During
Quite
this
right.
time, while you guys are loudly talking and making noise, Elidora has not stirred.
Oh.
Oh, I go check on her.
You shake her shoulder and she doesn't wake. She still appears to be breathing, but she's not responding.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Again, it's really weird. Do me a favor, move her to the armchair before we go. I would do it, but I have weak little noodle arms.
He makes I'll do it. Puts her in the armchair.
Her hair turns blue.
Huh.
Okay, I might have had a slight misread on the situation.
Huh.
What a weird enchantment to have on a chair.
I'm going to have
Can I
to cast
do it?
detect magic when we get back.
You should not do that. Let's go.
Yes, it seems we're
Alright,
running
yeah,
out of time. It's
Percy is right. Let's go before we lose the light.
So you guys walk outside to the meadow, and you notice that along the edges of the river, the plant life is beginning to brown and wilt. You guys can easily follow this river up to the top. As you are cresting one of the rises, you see the village that Elidora warned you to stay away from, and it appears to sit right at the river's edge. Would you like to go around it, or would you like to go through it?
Sorry, what that she warned us away from?
The hamlet, the little collection of houses that she serves as their green witch.
If it is a poison, then it wouldn't be contagious.
But everyone drinks from the river, I would assume.
By the way, how many rations do y'all have?
I have none.
Well, you don't need to. Clearly, the question was not directed at you.
I had none when we started.
I had 5 when we started.
So
I am.
2.
I think I forgot to note down rations.
Did you guys feed Kayvar your extra rations?
Yes.
I guess.
So you guys are starting the day with no rations, no water.
Well, I actually have a little trick up my sleeve. Give me your canteens, if you.
You're not going to turn us inside out, are you? You have a weird fascination
No,
with the
I
subject.
promise. And if he gets all the canteens, he'll fill them up from the river water, and and after he's filled them all up, he will cast Purify Food and Drink on all of them.
All right, so you guys have canteens full of water that you consider safe to drink. Let me just read up on Purify Food and Drink real quick.
Run it free of poison and disease.
All right, so you have safe water.
I'm thinking I'm a little worried about eating any of the local wildlife, considering it may have been drinking from the same river.
That and the plants as well.
Well, I am able to
Quietus, go ahead
purify.
and roll me a survival check. Because you would be in tune with the forest. Quietus, you're not really sure how to tune yourself with this particular forest. It's much smaller than the one that you come from, and you've kind of allowed yourself to be comfortable on inside. So at this time, you don't notice anything different.
Okay.
We're following upstream, correct?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
know that
So
person.
you're following upstream.
Mhm.
Who has a passive perception above 15? Anybody?
No.
No.
Not very perceptive. That's
Wait,
fine.
let me check. Let me check something.
I need you all to actively roll perception checks then.
Oh boy!
What's BPB? Proficiency bonus.
I'll slap you all with guidance.
Okay. Nah.
So it's a total of 17 for my perception.
I rolled a 1. Albume rolls a 11.
You keep thinking that you see something glittering in the grass,
wait.
Coyle. You keep chasing it around and parting it, swearing that you're seeing something glitter in the grass. You waste an hour or so before you realize it's dew.
And my mechanical rabbit is a 18.
Your mechanical rabbit consumes another flower, but does alert you. And Kayvar, you are still feeling a little woozy from all that's happened to you, so you don't notice anything. And then Quietus.
It was a grand total of 17 for myself. Oh, sorry, Quietus. No, never mind. My bad. I had a character named Quietus that I played very recently. My apologies.
Quietus, it's kind of bright out here for your avian eyes, so you're not noticing anything as well. But Percy and the rabbit, you guys both see that there are several animal carcasses that have collapsed near the river. It seems to be impacting not only the plants growing around the river, but the animals who come to drink from it. The village ahead of you is also very quiet. It doesn't have the clinking of tools or the muttering of voices that you normally hear when approaching a village. The only thing that you hear is a gentle creaking.
So, I don't know if you've all noticed, there's a bunch of dead animals around the river, and that village ahead of us is very quiet. I think we should probably Coyle, get out of the dirt. I think we should probably investigate.
My apologies. Yes. Oh, and if you guys want to get some of the meat from the animal,
We're not eating from those animals.
I can purify it for you, and it'll be good to go.
I think we just try and wrap this up now.
Very well.
I think
The sooner
anytime
the
wasted.
better, yes.
Yeah, we have people relying on us at this point. Let's not waste too much time. I'm good for another day.
All right.
We'll see.
I'm just gonna stuff one of the rabbits in the bag just in case we don't wrap this up in one day.
All right.
Alright, so you pick up a rabbit by the ears. As you kind of part its fur, you see that it is covered in a rash. It does look like it's been vomiting recently, and it has much of the same symptoms that you had as you stuff it into your bag. Are you guys going through the village or around it?
Through it, I think.
Yeah, if we want to be quick, we should probably go through it.
We'll go at a double pace here.
Smaller than than a village. It is more of a hamlet. So as you kind of cross through the crude fencing that they've put up to keep out most of the wildlife, there is no guard. As you're padding through this village, there is an eerie silence as your footsteps appear too loud in your ears. You hear creaking and look to the side and see it's a fence gate that is just swaying in the wind, creaking quietly with no one to attend to it. The doors, some are open, some are half ajar, but there are no voices in this village. And as you turn and come towards the center, you see a single collapsed body near a well. Would you like to continue through or
dear.
investigate further?
Coyle would investigate further.
As you approach this body and turn it over, the man that you're holding has perished. You can see that already insects are starting to set in. His cheeks are sunken, but you can still make out a rash across most of his body. He seems to be reaching for the well in death, but alas, did not make it.
He goes and checks the well after gently putting the man down, closing his eyes.
You are unable to close his eyes as his carcass is too far gone.
Oh, okay. Well, he goes and checks the well.
You look down at the well. It is empty. It appears that the villagers may have been digging this well. It seems to be new, but it was not completed.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know about y'all, but Percy's a little less flamboyant at the moment. It seems that the village has already been affected. I assume it would be further upstream of the village. Something is polluting the water.
It looks that way. Who could be so heartless?
I have a sneaking suspicion that witch didn't seem very fond of nobles, did she?
Yeah, I'm
Well,
sure
but
it
this is
did.
nobles, and she's sick as well. These are just farmers.
Anyway,
Even the most stuck-up noble will agree you need peasants for taxes.
Well, yes.
I mean,
Do we hear any other sound from the village, or is it just dead quiet?
Roll a perception check.
8.
Ooh, 18.
Kayvar, you hear a cough. It seems to be coming from the farthest house that is set just kind of at the edges of this hamlet, away from the river.
My ears twitch a little bit. Someone's still alive. Just head over towards the house.
The house is incredibly quiet, and as you push open the door, it gives you no resistance. Inside, you see what looks to be a teenage girl laying in a bed. She looks incredibly sick, and there is a rash all along her body. She's pretty emaciated and kind of half hanging out of her cot. As she looks at you, you just hear her voice say, Are you real?
Yes, I'm quite real. Coyle, give us some water.
Oh, yes. I give her some of the water.
She drinks it weakly but eagerly. As you're holding her, you can feel that she is incredibly far gone. I don't... Who are you?
Oh, we're friends.
What's happened to us?
Oh dear. He just looks at Kayvar. Doesn't want to explain it.
The young girl looks at you, Kayvar. And she just smiles and says, "You're so pretty. I saw fashions like that in the capital once when I was a girl."
Thank you. There's no easy way to say this. Your village has been poisoned.
Poisoned?
Yes, someone's contaminated the river. We think.
That's what the mayor said. We started to build a well. I wasn't here. I came back. I had journeyed to the main town for supplies. When I came back, a lot of people were sick, and then I got sick. Did anyone get better?
Not yet.
Are they still fighting like me?
I'm gonna roll deception to try and comfort her. 7.
What do you say?
That's still trying to hang in there.
She just smiles at you and says, "Oh, they died. You're not very good at this. You
No.
shouldn't play poker. You're not gonna get sick, are you?" And she kind of tries to push you away, but she has no strength.
I'll just back off a little bit. I'm trying not to get sick.
Don't recommend it. You said we were poisoned, but who would do this to us? We're not important. We don't have any trade or anything.
I don't know. That's what I'm trying. That's what I think we're trying to work out. But anyone at all who wants the village to relocate or anything?
No, nobody really comes here. In fact, I don't think half the people know that we exist. Most of the maps don't even include us. We're only about 10 or 15 families. We don't even qualify as a village.
It's very worrying.
Can you roll an insight check for me, please? Or an arcana check, whatever is stronger.
Okay.
I'm going to give him a bardic inspiration for this roll.
You don't need to. You rolled a nat 20.
No need.
No need. Never mind.
Quietus, you exit the house and you look around. And as you're looking at the faces of these different corpses, you can tell that they died agonizing, unfortunate deaths. But for every corpse that you see, you realize that not one has produced an emivir. For as much agony as this village has faced, there should be at least a dozen of them, and you see not one.
He's gonna head back to the group and say, "There's a lot of agony between the faces of all the villagers. However, what's strange is that no emivirs seem to have appeared. There should be a couple dozen of them at least, but strangely enough, none of them have appeared."
Yes, that is quite peculiar.
None?
Would Coyle have any inkling as of why?
Roll a raw intelligence check.
16.
That one's kind of a hard one, and you could only probably think in hypotheticals. But Perhaps the nature of what has happened to the village is related.
Okay. I think perhaps we should continue our journey up the river. Figure out what caused all of this.
Can I
Agreed.
ask you all a favor?
Of course.
Anything.
Can you just stay a little while longer until I fall asleep?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well. Yes. We'll do that. Yes.
My name is Molly. I just thought somebody should know.
Right,
Molly.
are you cold, Molly?
I was, but not anymore. And she closes her eyes and falls asleep. And then she wakes no more.
Quietus is gonna.
Okay, new plan. We find whoever poisoned the village and we stab them. A lot.
Come on. Please.
DM,
Yes,
question.
sure.
Would this, judging by where we are on the map, would this be close to...
You can see where you are on the map.
Yeah, but I'm talking about my one-shot.
Yeah.
Are we close to that at all?
I sent you guys the map, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know where my one-shot was.
Your one shot took place in the Golden Dawn Canyon.
Cool? What the fuck is that?
It's
That's way south from where we are.
Oh! Okay, never mind then.
yeah, that is. It's not in any way close.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Right. Sorry, just one thing. I'm gonna take the feather out of my hat,
Mm-hmm.
and just put it in her hair. No one deserves to die looking like this. Shall we? Shall we go? Let's go now. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Quietus is gonna put a hand on her face and say, "Sleep well."
And as you guys step forward and leave the quiet village behind, you see that it is now past midday, and the light itself seems to be more intense than it should be. Everything is overexposed as the trees give way and the foliage becomes lighter and browner and more sickly. You start to see patches of dried, cracked dirt the farther north that you travel. You'll need to camp soon. Would you like to camp or push forward?
I think we push forward, right?
I'm okay with pushing forward.
Push forward for a few hours, yeah.
Hmm.
The moon rises high when you finally arrive at what you think to be your destination. It appears to be some sort of large building that is maybe a good distance from the river. It's large. It seems to have a few people still working in the dead of night. The building itself has light coming from it. It's nondescript as far as buildings go, very square and made of stone. The top, however, instead of being thatch as the as the buildings are normally made around here, the top seems to be made of metal. And there is a large metal door in the side that has 2 doors together, so it opens inwards or outwards. It would be large enough that a cart could pass.
How big is this building?
Probably the size of a town hall.
Oh, okay. So it looks like sort of like a warehouse.
It looks like a warehouse, yes. A medieval Renaissance fantasy warehouse.
And from where this river comes from, is it like a lake? Or does it come from the building?
It doesn't come from the building. This is just the first, like, building that you have seen, and the it seems to be in the midst of a large area of dead foliage. The river does keep going after this, but as you guys are in the flatlands and you can see a while, you actually see that the forest is getting healthier the further away it gets from this point. So instead of making you roll a bunch of numbers, or a bunch of dice, you guys kind of realize that this is like
Yeah. Yeah.
This looks like the place.
Let's you guys want to I'm not one for altercations, so you guys will take the lead on this one.
All right then. Let's go investigate.
As you guys approach the building, you see that there appears to be a bugbear leaned up against the side. He seems to be taking a smoke break. He does not notice you.
How are we doing this? Are you just going and trying? No, fuck. Okay, just let me do
He
this.
does have his back to you all.
Just let me do the talking. Let's not start swinging until we have something confirmed.
Quietus, Kayvar,
Okay.
how are you two approaching this?
Well, I'm slowly putting the sword down now that Percy said he's doing the talking.
Oh, let's not stab first and ask questions later just yet. There will be a time and place.
Standing in the back.
Right.
Quietus,
hello?
what are you doing?
Oh, sorry.
I'm just watching this play out. I'll be a little bit off to the side.
Okay. Just like a noble politician, staying out of it.
I was never very good at that.
Yeah. So you approach the bugbear.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say?
I just went, hello.
Oh, holy shit! Why are you sneaking about? Who? Wait,
I
who are
walked up to you. My name is Percy Aurelius, the fourth of the great and noble house of Aurelius, located within Lux. A village, small hamlet downstream, has been poisoned and died. Do you know anything about it?
He takes a long drag from his cigarette and, like, holds it for a moment and then blows it out and says, "That was a lot of words. You're gonna have to shorten it down."
People died downstream. Did you do something?
Shit, I didn't murder him.
Right, but you know what happened?
No, okay, look, I know. There's a big stigma, right? Bugbear, fresh out of jail, you know, and then suddenly everyone thinks you're a murderer. Well, I'm not, okay? It was petty larceny I was in for, okay? He takes a long drag from his cigarette. Did you check with the wolves? Or the gnolls? They are known for murder.
They were poisoned, so I'm going to assume they're not torn to bits by wolves or gnolls. What's inside the warehouse, bud?
Oh, it's a factory. I work here.
What's inside the factory, bud?
He, like, looks inside and is like, there's, like, a table. That's Narblor, he's my boss.
What do they make here?
He takes another long drag and then looks at you and goes, I don't know. I just pull levers where they're only to pull them.
Albume will come out of the darkness and sort of
Fuck, what the fuck
stand
is that?
behind Percy. He's looking all intimidating.
Alright, that's a new
His
one.
glowing eyes.
You know, he's been 10 years in jail and suddenly the world moves forward. all this newfangled machinery and shit. I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore.
Oh my
We
god.
could scroll a parchment any day.
Have you been dumping some sort of industrial waste into the river by chance?
No, we bury it.
Where do you bury
He
it?
points over to this kind of field, and it's just these thick trenches where you can see they appear to be dumping the waste.
No, and we'll turn back to the party. Do you think that maybe this waste has run off into the water by any chance?
Definitely.
Right. We're going to have to talk to your boss.
Okay, well, Narbler is in there. Nah, I don't know what else to say. I just work.
Wonderful.
Dude.
Do me a favor. Go for a nice long walk.
But will I get fired? Because I need this job.
That will be trust me, that is the last of your worries right now. There are a lot of dead people, a lot of investigations going to be happening in the area. If you're an ex-con, they'll look at you first. You should go on holiday, bud.
Fuck, man. I think my
Ultima
kids
takes
get this
another
job.
threatening steps forward.
What am I going to say to my kids, alright? I only get paid like 20 silver, alright? 20 silver a week, which is pretty fucking good considering.
Oh my god, I will give you 5 gold pieces to go away.
Alright, I'm gone, man. I'm
I'll
out.
pay you $5 to fuck off.
He takes it and he goes, yeah, Renee's finally getting those shoes.
Oh, you are... Okay, bye. Does he leave?
Oh, he way leaves. He
Oh,
seems to be
sick.
excitedly talking about all the presents he's gonna buy for his kids.
Oh my god. I love the 5 gold fuck off fee. Right.
5 gold is a lot of money for someone who only makes very,
Not that
very
I
little.
fucking know it. Shall we step inside then and go
I
talk to
forgot
him?
to spend my starting gold, so yeah.
Yeah, me too, as it turns out. Right. We shall step inside. Right? We all with me?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, yes.
You
We'll go
immediately
talk. Check
see
the door
like
down.
a receptionist. It seems to be a Triton, and he has all of these.
Receptionist at a factory?
Yeah, like he's somebody to
Okay.
the receptionist / security guard, and he stands up and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
We had
He's
to talk
got
to the
these
big boss.
Crazy Kraken tattoos, all over his arms, and appears to have. Let me see. Who would know this? Percy, you would know this. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay. Weep. Ah, 9.
It was not a high DC for you, so it's fine. You
Mhm.
notice that he has a feather in his ear, which marks him as one of the members of the Lux Thief Guild. However, it does look like the feather is cut, so he looks like an ex-member.
And another ex-con.
Yes.
Okay. I am simply just going to lie. We don't have time. Hello. We're for the inspection. We're from head office. Is your boss around?
Which boss? Are you talking about the boss? You were talking about Noblo, or are you talking about the dude that owns the factory?
Both.
Well, the dude that owns the factory is a noble fuck, and he only comes to investigate on the 4th Tuesday of every other month. So, no, he's not here right now. But Narbler is back there if you want to talk to him.
Wonderful. Let's go have a chat.
Oh, did you want... Oh, okay. Did
Did
you
I
want
want
the name
what?
of the guy that owns the factory?
That would be super nice.
Hold on. I gotta decipher the copy.
Make it sound like make it sound like they're
Yeah, that's
reading the
it's
bone.
the Sarkadon family owns this place.
Sarkadon.
Percy, you know this name. That is your
Yeah.
uncle's
Do I know this name?
surname.
It's my what?
That's your uncle's surname.
Ah. Good. Great. Fantastic.
Kayvar, go ahead and roll a history check. We'll see if you know it.
Oof. That one.
You
That's 6.
swear that was a pirate family's name. Like, you
Right.
cannot be convinced otherwise that family wasn't formerly pirates.
God, it's being run by land pirates.
Yep, land pirates. You're absolutely right. Let's go talk to the boss. Thank you very much. Also, all the industrial waste outside,
What's industrial waste?
the shit that this factory's been like.
Yeah,
You know
but
when
you're
you finish
saying,
making
you're
stuff.
saying that word industrial like I'm supposed to know what it means.
Right. Okay. The factory waste.
Oh yeah, we dump
You've
that
been
stuff in the
throwing-
trenches,
Right.
and then it hardens and just stays there. I guess I don't fucking.
Would it be harmful to human consumption?
We haven't made anyone drink it, so I don't
Just-
know.
Just look at Percy. What are you on about?
I mean,
What?
did you want to try drinking it, and then we can see if it's harmful?
Well, I'm kind of of the opinion that that stuff in the trenches, maybe it rained recently and it leaked into the water supplies. Like it leaked
No,
into the river through the ground.
We dug that real deep.
Right.
Perhaps
It's not
they'll-
anywhere near the river.
Oh.
Perhaps there's an underground river. Perhaps that's where the water is coming from.
Rivers
Hmm.
are underground.
Okay, this has been enlightening. I don't think he has anything else useful to tell us. You all are welcome to ask him questions.
No.
Wait, I don't know if I'm supposed to let you through.
Well, we
Narbor!
have a,
It's just your real bad. What's going on? This tiny, diminutive, old goblin with just so many wrinkles on his face. His eyes have almost disappeared into his head. He is pretty small and very bony as far as goblins go. He is an ancient among their kind, and he just walks up and goes, what do you want?
What do you make
This
here?
is what happens when you get snow fever.
Right.
What the fuck
What?
are you talking about?
Right. What do you make in this factory?
We make Hexator. What's it to you, bub? Don't try and steal any of it. You'll have the
Sorry.
entire city of Lux on your ass.
Oh, not again. Sorry, Hexator?
Yeah, that's right, you heard me.
What's
I don't think you're
doing?
so special now, huh?
Oh my god, my uncle owns you. So what is Hexator?
What do you... You're...
Do I know what that is?
You don't
all
know
of you may
pirates?
roll intelligence checks. Or
Wait, all of
medicine
us?
checks, whichever is better for you.
Medicine.
Oh well,
Intelligence. Very smart.
I don't know
22.
anything.
You crit failed, don't know anything, Mr. Unlucky.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Coyle, you have no idea and don't believe that they're actually making anything because something named Hexator sounds so ridiculous, you refuse to believe it's real.
Tell us what you actually
I'm
make.
22, so
Percy, you have no idea. You're sure that your uncle may have mentioned it to you once or twice, but you stopped listening immediately afterwards.
It's hard to listen to him talk. He also has something in his teeth, you know?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
You haven't really heard of this. You are kind of new to the system. But Kayvar, you are really good at alchemy, and you do know what Hexator is for. Hexator is a treatment used to help people who have been harmed by emivirs, and it is a life-saving treatment for a lot of the ruined blades who fight emivirs and who fight agitators, who are the people who raise emivirs.
Right, so you'll make. What are the. What are the byproducts of making hexators?
I'm not the scientist. They just give us the alchemical recipe and we make it. And then we take the runoff and we put it in a ditch.
Right, can we take a look around?
No.
And whose decision was it to put the runoff in a ditch?
Nobles just told us to dump it in the water, but we thought that was irresponsible.
Hmm.
So we dug a ditch away from the water source.
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah,
If it's just bullshitting.
go ahead.
I'm not good at this, but a 6.
I'm also gonna roll one.
Yeah, you can roll one as well. You can't really tell.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Neither one of you can tell if he's being serious or not, but he appears serious.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to
Quietus,
take you at
do
your
want
word.
to roll an insight check?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Sure.
Perhaps we can have a look at this ditch of yours.
You can look at the ditch all you want, but I'm not gonna let you in here, because this is proprietary.
Well, you have to let me in. My uncle owns the place.
Yeah, show me your credentials.
Okay. I assume I have some kind of credential proving that I am, in fact, a son of Aurelius.
You do. And it has your full name, your
Oh.
family tree. And he looks at it and says, "Wait a second. I know who you are." And
No, you don't.
He reaches into his desk and rifles around, and there's all these old newspapers. He says, I do know who you are. And he pulls out the
No.
newspaper and shows you the article all about your fall from grace and how you were tossed out of the city of Lux for various levels of debauchery. Hey, that's you, isn't it?
No, it's my identical twin brother.
No, I'm pretty the name matches.
We were both named the same name.
You know what? I do have to say congratulations on having a new brother, by the way.
And what?
You didn't read the paper?
No, I'm kind of out of contact with Mother Dearest. What?
He hands you a piece of paper. Or, excuse me, he hands you a newspaper, and it says that the noble house of Aurelius has adopted a new son. And in there is an interview with your mother. And the interviewee says, so you now you have 2 sons, an heir and a spare. And she, it's noted that there is some redacted content. And then it says, you're welcoming in your first son, ma'am. And he replies, yes, it is so nice to finally have an heir that I can rely on. My first and only son.
Okay.
Are all human nobles like this?
I wonder the same thing.
It goes on to announce that the Aurelius family finally has an heir. They have a brand new son that they have adopted, and that he will inherit everything.
Sorry, could you guys just deal with this for a moment? I'm thinking maybe investigate the inside of the factory or look around outside, maybe some waste has slipped. I need to go for just a moment. He's going to take the newspaper and kind of like walk in his normal sense out. But as soon as he's outside the door, he's stomping and he's going to go throw a temper tantrum elsewhere.
Mr. I didn't catch your name.
Narblor.
Again?
Narblor.
Mr. Gablo.
Narblor.
Garblor?
You're adding a G. My name starts with, and he consults the newspaper. This one, and he points to a level, the letter N.
Nablor.
Yeah, that's me.
Mr. Nablor. You
Really?
see, we have reasons to believe that the byproducts of which you have thrown in the ditch have somehow poisoned the water supply of the hamlets further down here, which have made most, if not all of them, quite sick and dying, as it were. So we are here to sort of figure out why and how to prevent this from happening.
Well, what do you want me to do about it? I can't do anything without the nobles getting on my ass.
Well, perhaps we can figure out a new way to get rid of the byproducts.
Well, you're more than welcome to do that. Go ahead, do your years of research, and meanwhile, we have to make this stuff. I gotta keep my boys employed. You know how many people hire ex-monster convicts? No one. We're lucky to have this job, and we're doing our dangest to make sure that this job doesn't hurt others.
Well, you're not trying very hard.
Well, you have sort of done the opposite, I'm afraid.
Look, unless you
And
have a
if-
decree from a noble, this factory stands as is, and we're gonna have to ask you to leave.
Well, I wonder what would happen if your nobles would get the wind of this, that one of their factories is killing a bunch of hamlets.
Yeah, you
because
know what's
they
gonna
couldn't be
happen?
bothered.
I know what's gonna happen. Nothing. They're gonna cover it up. That's it. We're trying our best to minimize the damage, but we still need these jobs. And those rune blades still need this medicine. So unless you have something to add to that, bugger off! You see the Triton start to get up, and there's a human worker that also looks to be an ex-con approaching your guys' location to throw you out.
Oh dear. He looks at Quietus and Kayvar, little defeated.
We best step out for now. I believe we should reconvene, think over our options.
Very well.
Yeah, that's right. Get out of here.
You haven't heard the last of me.
I think we have. And you see the goblin draw out a dagger. The Triton's drawn out a trident, and the human has just two fists ready to go. The other two look at him, and he just goes, I forgot mine at home.
I think we step out.
You step out, and they slam the door, and you hear it lock.
Well, that didn't quite end how I wanted it to end.
Well, we do know the cause of it now. It has to be this factory.
Well,
But even
let's,
so-
let's go see this ditch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, so we are 2 hours in before you guys go to the ditch. We're gonna take a 5-minute break so everybody can take a break, stretch your legs, go to the
Okay.
bathroom, and we will be back in 5 minutes. Okay, so you guys have just been kicked out of the factory. It's about high midnight right now. The moon is half waxed, so you have a little bit of light, but not a whole lot. You can make out the deep trenches where this alchemical waste has been dumped, but it is still quite dark and treacherous.
It might be time to get some sleep, but I'm hesitant as we're on a bit of a time limit. It's up to you guys. What do you feel like doing?
Coyle takes out this little gem, little white gem that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This little white gem. Yeah.
Yeah, and it glows. It glows in
Ew.
5 foot radius, radiant light. And he plops it into his mechanical rabbit's mouth. And you see the ears of the rabbit sort of flatten out and turns horizontally. And it flaps really fast and starts to fly. And I send him down the ditch so you may see what's going on down there.
So you sent a rabbit drone. And
Yes, with a light.
with the light. This rabbit, with its ears whirring wildly as it hovers down to the bottom, you see this thick but hard-looking ichor at the bottom. It's deeply green, and it appears to be coating every inch of this ditch as if they just slop it down into this deep trench. You guys are probably about 30 to 40 feet from the river. The trenches themselves, it's hard to tell if what waste is at the bottom is still liquid or if it is a solid.
I will send my rabbit back up, give him a vial, so he may try and scoop some up.
Okay, go ahead and roll
Please
a
do.
dexterity check for your rabbit.
Yeah,
And
right.
what are you doing,
It's
Kayvar?
Listen, I'm sure, like,
a natural 20.
I'm sure these people, like, they need this medicine and they need this oil, but they've killed an entire village.
Well, let's see here. Yeah, it was a natural 20 or a 24.
The paws seem to detach from the main leg and just piston down into this ichor. And at first it appears to be a solid, but then the top cracks like a crust of old food. And you do see that there is a thick liquid underneath. It's scooped up and brought back by the rabbit. There seems to be 3/4 full in the vial, and it does not appear to be covering the outside, remarkably.
He just have a looks at it. If it looks familiar at all, or if he can glean anything from it.
Go ahead and roll an Arcana check, as this is an alchemical agent.
Ooh, that's a 22.
22, very nice. You know that most alchemical potions have a byproduct. Normally, the byproduct is made inert by various techniques, but a lot of those techniques tend to be very expensive. So many hobby alchemists or underground alchemists just kind of bury the waste and try not to think about it. There have been instances before of disasters because of this, but they have been relatively far and few.
If we are bedding down for the night, I think Coyle would spend a little time taking out his alchemy supplies and just test a little bit, like how poisonous is what kind of
Sure.
what are they looking at essentially?
Yeah. All right. What are you doing for the night, Percy?
I'm going to set up a tent. I'm going to go get in it, and I'm going to try and not cry too loudly.
Classic. Quietus, what are you doing?
He's just gonna rest by a tree, and he'll be a little bit lost in thought.
All right. And then Kayvar, what are you doing?
I'm going to be wondering how flammable that factory is.
All right. So Professor Coyle, roll me an
Oh.
intelligence check. Percy, roll me a
All right.
constitution check. Quietus, roll me an insight check. And Kayvar, roll me a perception check.
would I get proficiency bonus
Yes.
since I am proficient in?
Yes,
Okay.
you would.
Well, that doesn't matter because I crit failed. God fucking damn it!
You crit
Kayvar,
failed like
you
4
look at that
times.
building, and yes, it is made of metal, but you know of many alchemical agents that you could make that would set that building ablaze like a celebration bonfire.
I've crit failed
Arrhenius, you
so many
attempt to make
fucking-
your first test, accidentally shatter the entire bottle, and one of your journals is now covered in ichor.
Oh, crap baskets.
Quietus, you wonder a little bit if the nature of what they're making and the byproduct is related to why there are no emivirs. And Percy, you do not throw up from crying too hard, but you have a very deep and satisfying cry.
Feeling good.
And as you all take your rest, dawn.
He would
breaks.
also, before hunkering down, to purify food and water on the rabbits. That was picked up earlier.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, just before
In
you go
case,
to bed.
in
you're
case they
like,
want to eat.
beep, 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 beep. Easy enough. Well,
It's a ritual spell.
hold
so just,
on.
I don't know.
Hold on, though. At what point does a carcass become food?
It is meat, edible, I guess.
Yeah, I know, but now I'm like, I'm gonna let it happen for the sake of letting it happen, but it is kind of an edge case, right? Because technically you wouldn't eat it in this state, so it's technically not food.
I guess once you've skinned it?
Yeah.
I think once you've applied some sort of mechanism of cooking. But it's fine. I'll let
Oh, you
I'll
gotta
let the
cook
meat
it.
be purified. You can cook it.
You're not gonna eat it raw.
Well, yeah, so it's not technically food, right? Because you wouldn't eat it in this
It's fine.
state.
I prepared a rabbit and then I've got purified food.
No, I'm gonna let it happen. It just like as a ADHD aside, I'm like, technically this
Yeah.
rabbit isn't food.
Does Speak with Dead work if you've cooked the body?
I don't think so.
Oh my
I
god.
don't think it would. But I think that once you've cooked the body, it becomes an object and not a humanoid. So you can
Sure.
technically animate object on a cooked body?
Yeah,
Interesting.
that body would be considered an
That
object,
would
I
be the
think,
most
by
wild
D&D
way
rules.
to like resurrect somebody is to cook them to make them become an object and then to create to do the animate object spell that makes them into like an
Incredible.
animated person. sorry. Anyway. Look, I have ADHD too, okay?
Yeah.
I'm following. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, no. All right, we purified the rabbits. TLDR.
Yeah. So they get food.
So, yes, so dawn breaks. You guys have food, you have water that has been purified. You guys learned what you could or did what you could during the night. And now it is a new day, and you see that as you kind of wake up, the doors are open, and you see this goblin talking with these two large orcs, and they are the goblin is furiously pointing at you and making rude gestures.
Oh dear. This doesn't bode well. Oh.
Did you find out anything about this industrial runoff?
Oh, well, I
Right, of course. I hereby strip you of your
accidents
profession.
happens in this profession.
You are not a real professor. So,
What,
uh-huh. So, before they come over,
clearly you're not a noble. Yes, I saw the display yesterday.
never said I did. First of all, bit soon. Okay. Anyway, can I quickly look around the pits before we get rudely kicked out?
Sure.
Is there? I'm looking for like a way that this industrial runoff is. Are there like signs it's being taken, or signs that it's going somewhere? Because I assume if it's going through
Ooh.
dirt into water, that there'll be like dead plants on top, or there'll be some sort of method of passage. And if it's being taken somewhere, there'll be footprints down to it as someone scoops it up and puts it elsewhere.
Roll an investigation check. And while you're doing that,
Heard.
Quietus and Kayvar, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna fly above and see if I can just take a broader look at the gorge or at it and just see if it's like how deep, well, how far off does it go?
Okay. As you fly up into the air, you do see that the radius of the dead plants does seem to center off these runoff pits. It does start fading off probably about 1.5 miles out at this point, which as you were walking, you were kind of making note of the different levels, and you would say that day by day, this is probably spreading like a good 5 or 10 feet each day. It's slow moving, but you think it's going to have some wider consequences soon. Percy,
I'm just going to make rude gestures at the goblin back.
you don't really notice too many footprints, really. The ground here is pretty hard and cracked, so it's a little bit hard to make out. As you glance down in the pit, though, the only really tampering that you see is the indent where the rabbit collected a sample. Otherwise,
On
the
that
rest of
note-
this seems pretty pristine.
On that note, I will send the rabbit down one more time and get another sample.
Go ahead and roll a dexterity again for your rabbit. Kayvar, you make rude gestures. Go ahead and make a performance check.
That would be a 11.
13.
13. The goblin completely understands what kind of gestures you're making, starts making them back, and angrily stomping on the ground, and you see that the orcs are starting to approach you. You managed to get a tiny sample this time from the rabbit. There's probably only
Yeah.
about 1 inch in the vial this time, and the outside does have kind of a thick layer on it. It doesn't seem like the rabbit was able to make its repeat performance.
No, well, he will try his best to scoop up all the other shit into the vial. Just to have as much
So
as
you
possible.
touch it?
Yes, I do touch it, yes.
As you touch it, you see the sizzle of smoke rising from your fingers, and it is quite
Oh.
acidic.
Oh! I don't touch it anymore. I pick it up with thongs, which I imagine I'd have.
You take 1 point of acid damage.
Yeah, I think we
Cool.
might have company soon.
You do
Just a
hear the
lot of
sound of
orcs.
these two orcs kind of stomping towards you. As they approach, you do see that they have crudely formed a uniformed vest that seems to be identical between the two of them, and it does say security in crudely sewn letters. Boy, I hear you've been lurking around here. This is private property. You're trespassing.
So, good sirs, this chemical stuff here is leaking through the ground. You said it was leaking for miles, right?
Yes, it is indeed.
Would it reach the river?
Oh, yeah.
It's only 40,
Oh, yeah.
50 feet from the river.
Right. So this chemical pit here is leaking into the river. It's already killed a village of people. It's only going to get worse if you keep doing this. There needs to be another solution done.
We can only do what the nobility allows us to do.
Why?
Because they own the land. They can pollute it if they want.
They have a piece of paper that says they own the land. They're not on it.
Well, what are we supposed to do?
Take it. Do better.
And have a whole army of Lux's mages after us.
Hmm.
I'd rather be alive, thank you.
for finding a different solution for the biomass.
If we mess with anything, the nobles are up our ass faster than you can say peanuts.
Peanuts. They're not here yet.
And there's a nobility right there. He points at Percy. See, they're everywhere like roaches.
Already recently found out ex-nobility. I have been not just exiled, but disowned.
Oh, I'm sorry for your
well, there you go.
loss.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. Is there any other solution you can think of at all? Anything we can do to prevent a whole bunch of people dying?
As this conversation is happening, Coyle is going to go a bit in the back, and he's going to try and create a tiny flame on the sample to see just what happens.
It is super flammable.
It's flammable. Do I get the idea that the smoke coming out of it is poisonous?
How would you determine that? One who does not breathe?
I'm an alchemist.
You are an alchemist, but you also can't smell it. Or see if it burns your eyes.
The consistency, I don't know.
I would say you can roll an Arcana check at disadvantage. Because you have no senses about you that would help you determine if the smoke was an
Oh, that's a crit fail.
You think it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
In fact, you're confident enough to try it on your friends.
But I'm not going to.
No, but you know deep down it would be fine.
Yeah.
It does burn incredibly hot and brightly. Look, I know. All right, it's not the best solution, and we get that, but it's the only solution that we could figure out. So this just kind of has to be how it is.
Is there any chance you could ship it out somewhere, put it in the container, have someone transport it away?
To where?
Or perhaps, if I may. Hi, Professor Coyle. Pleasure to meet you too. Perhaps if you can bury it, but in a sort of waterproof container of sort. Perhaps maybe iron or.
You want me to put this stuff in iron?
Like an iron box or a container, so it doesn't leak out into the soil.
He holds up an iron screw and tosses it into the pit, and you watch as it sizzles and burns until it is nothing.
Well, perhaps you say metal's better suited for a fitting.
The only thing we've found that doesn't melt in this shit is glass. And do you know how expensive glass is? Are you gonna pay for this?
Well, I suppose that's a good point.
Look, I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to help. I understand that. But we don't have the means to dispose of this any other way. So unless you've got ideas, bugger off.
Okay, diplomacy's failed. How much are they paying you? Are they paying you enough to die here?
No, I get about 2 silver a week, but this family's actually pretty generous. They hire ex-cons like me and allow us to have a place to work. Sure, it's not fancy, but I'm grateful for what I get. That's why I'm not too keen to piss off nobility.
Well, you're pissing off this noble. Plus my signet ring.
Oh, shit. See, I told you said peanuts, and every single fucking noble in a 5-mile radius came here.
All right, yes, I do see your point. To be fair, I'm actually somewhat from a noble family as well.
No,
so,
fuck you.
Point taken. Did all the nobles get fucking sent to the sticks?
I guess so. Serves you right.
Fair enough.
He does look to be quite agitated, and he's starting to kind of push you guys off this property. You're trespassing. Come on. Don't make this harder than it has to be. So what are you guys doing?
Such a good question. I have no idea.
There's a lot of options
I want
here.
team burn down the factory.
Yeah, but then what do we do with the waste?
I mean, no
Well-
more waste will be being made, so...
But it's there and it's already killing people. So this is enough to already kill people.
And
It's not. We have to do
is
something with it.
really flammable.
If we burn it, is that going to get rid of it?
It's gonna make a problem.
Well, yeah,
probably.
but it seems like that
Then all the poison's just in the air.
smoke. Yeah, it's even worse. It's like a volcano going off. It's like
Oh my God. I hate capitalism.
Yeah, what are you guys gonna do with this environmental disaster? Did you think this was gonna be the one shot? Nobody expects the environmental disaster.
it is more political disaster than anything.
Yeah.
Is anyone a druid?
No.
No.
Nope.
What if we just leave?
Yeah, it is an option. You
I mean,
guys have the
technically,
crystal to
we
literally
did
take you
finish the
home.
contract.
Yeah, we did find out what was causing it.
I mean, but you know, the original contract as well. We did kind of
You
that
did.
as well.
do that as well. Yeah.
Maybe this is just a pass this along to someone who can actually do something about it. Because beyond us
The
murdering a
villagers
bunch of people,
they are already dead. So
that's kind of the problem. Is everyone's already dead? There's no one left to save.
yeah,
We
maybe the
can-
witch.
Maybe we head back and we simply tell them what's going on here and hope someone does something useful. Because beyond us just burning down this factory and then having a bunch of radioactive shit that we don't know what to do with, I'm not seeing a way out. Does anyone else have anything?
I mean, we're 4 fucking noble. Okay, 3 nobles, 1 ex-noble. You know,
Thanks for
some of us might
rubbing
need
that one in, bud.
connections. Some may have some connections, you know.
I could look into seeing if we can get these people newer jobs. However, as for the environmental happenings here, we're going to need someone else who has more power and influence to put a stop to it.
This is not what I expected when I picked up the mission board that just said pick flowers.
Look, I can
Mm.
see you guys are very upset. Well, we could try burning it. That was Niblor's idea, but I was like, you know what? This stuff does some crazy stuff when it gets burned. But I guess, you know, if it's killing people, we might as well. He lights a
Have you-
torch.
Have you tried?
Okay. Okay. I'm going to back
Have you
away from the
tried
pit very fast.
freezing it? Perhaps.
What was that?
Have you tried freezing it or adding water to it?
Well, you said adding water to it killed a bunch of people.
No,
Well,
adding it to the water killed a bunch of people.
Yes, but before you dump it, perhaps like
He has one hand
mix it
stretched
out a
over the
bit.
pit with a torch.
okay. Question:
Yeah.
would I know how to unacetic something acidic?
You would know how to process this into a mechanism that would make it less toxic.
Yeah, I
Uh,
will.
you could do that. However, you know that it's probably not sustainable in this case, but it would probably provide an immediate stop to it.
Well, I would suggest that whatever the fuck that is.
If you would like to spend the next 2 days here processing the waste, I will say that you are able to make it inert.
Well, it is day 4, correct?
Mhm.
Well, it's up to you guys, really. I could try something, but it's not long lasting by any means.
At this
Wow.
point, you guys do see that someone else has come to visit. He appears to be a military style person, and he's wearing a signet that has a blade that has been cracked. He appears to be looking for the foreman, but is kind of watching what's going on with you guys.
Do we recognize the signal?
Anyone who has been to Lux may roll a intelligence check.
Oakley dokley.
Actually, Percy, you would just know because you lived in Lux. This
Yeah.
is a ruined blade. They essentially act as a police force for Lux, but they mostly focus on Emivirth.
Right. So, member of the Broken Blade. I basically just tell everyone what you just told me.
Yes, ruined blades.
Ruined Blade, sorry.
You see him pick
perhaps,
up a shipment.
Perhaps he can help?
Yes, perhaps. Hey, excuse me, good sir.
Oh, hello, citizen. What can I do for you?
Hello, I am Professor Coyle from the Iron Ballista. We've been sent here to sort of investigate the cause of some poisoned water supply, and we have strong suspicions that the cause of it would be the bio trash that's being thrown in the dish. That is sort of the byproduct of what I'm guessing you are picking up.
You said that there is. You said it's killing people?
Unfortunately, yes. There's
Killed.
been an entire hamlet, a village, further down the river, who has unfortunately all passed away from this.
Shit. All right. Are there Emivirs?
Peculiarly, no,
Oh.
no, Emily's.
It seems
That
whatever.
might be a sort of
Hold on. What do you
sort of
say?
by effect from what it's
What are
created
you? An
for.
owl? Aarakocra? Tiny Aarakocra. What did you say?
An owl, but
I
it
don't know
seems
what that is, but yes. Tiny owl and Aarakocra.
it seems whatever the byproduct is of whatever you're making to help fight against the Emivirs is also stopping Emivirs from being created from those that were affected.
Fascinating. Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Perhaps we could utilize this in some way. And you
Well,
said
it's
not
obvious-
one.
They
Very
died
deadly.
in agony.
Yeah, it's very deadly. Perhaps 3 or 4 days drinking decontaminated water would probably be enough to kill a normal person.
Well, it is unfortunate that lives have been lost, but if they do not create Emivirs, that's actually a boon to the ruined blades. If we can harness this waste and create a weapon out of it, then we might be able to fight against Emivirs more easily. What a discovery, citizen!
Well, perhaps actually,
He's on
you can make a
Ascending
deal.
Stone right now, reporting this to other people.
Yeah, perhaps you can make a deal with the owner of the factory, where
You hear
You-
these portals coming in. Boom, boom,
Oh.
boom. And you see a
Oh, dear.
bunch of ruined blades are out here and now surrounding the pits.
yeah, perhaps you can make a deal with the factory that your people perhaps can take the biomass that is left after the creation of your product. That way, it will not infect the nature around it like it has.
You guys see that he kind of isn't listening to you at this point.
Oh.
This is basically swarming now with ruined blades who are removing the waste. They do so with efficiency. You see other kind of mages that are bearing the same symbol, and they seem to be removing the contaminant from the water and the soil with magic. and several, probably about a dozen of them join together, and you see them create this ritual that takes them almost an hour to channel, but as it does, this blue plume of magic covers the entire area. It flows through you, it flows through Quietus and Kayvar and Percy and everybody in the radius, and all of you feel this sense of purification. For a moment, the magic glitters in the air, almost like snow before it dissipates. After
Oh,
quite an efficient cleanup, you hear boom, boom, as most of the members return back to headquarters, taking this waste with them.
Right, well, I'm sure this won't have long-standing ramifications on the nation at large, right, guys?
No, you have
Oh,
done
I
us a
wish
great
this-
service, citizens.
Right.
fantastic to hear.
Wonderful. Let my parents know. Hopefully they'll let me back in the family for at least 1% of the inheritance.
I'm not sure I thought. Wait, don't I know you?
No, this game is going to get very old very fast. Yes, it's me, Percy, Eli Aurelius, the bastard son.
Oh, no, I
Oh,
just...
not son anymore.
No, I thought
Well-
you were a friend of my daughter's. I'm sorry.
Your daughter?
Oh, yeah, she works at the coffee shop. She kept telling me about this Percy person that she had a big crush on. It was a whole thing.
Uh,
But I'm sure that's
What's
not
her name?
you.
What's her name again?
Her name is Cassie.
Cassie.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. You want to call her Cassie?
Do you recall a Cassie?
You don't say that out loud, you fucking idiot.
Do you recall a Cassie?
Well, I 100% do. Percy does not. Oh, is that Darcy's friend? The eccentric one?
No. Cassie, I think her friend's name is Amelia. They were really good friends, but I think they had the same crush on a boy, and then they ended up fighting. So I don't remember if they're friends or not. And then Cecilia, that was a thing for a little bit, but then I think it was the same thing. They get the little crushes on the boys, and then they get angry. But yeah,
Do I remember a Cassie?
I don't know. Roll an intelligence check.
Christ almighty. Wait a minute. How deep does this go? Flat intelligence +0. Okay. Yay, 16.
You do know that Cassie works at the coffee shop, but your relationship to her is what you decide it is. You do know she
Non-existent.
was quite friendly to you. She did have some friends who were also very friendly to you.
Oh, those ones. Right. Yes. Lovely girl. I have to go.
I'll tell Cassie you said hi.
Sure, yeah.
He
So-
kind of returns to his work, and they seem to be instructing the factory on how to safely bottle this up and send it to them.
Right.
Hang on, so you own this factory?
No, but I do have authority to make decisions. It's actually a noble family that owns this. They're pretty big in the pharmaceutical game.
Were you the one who ordered the previous way of disposing the waste?
No, it was actually probably the nobility that just said do something with it, and, these people are trying their best with the resources they have.
Well, if I may be so forward, perhaps reach out to maybe some family members of the hamlet down here.
If no one stops her, Kayvar might be drawing her weapon now.
You do see that the ruined blade has his eyes locked on you, and it says, "Oh, something else to say?"
To me?
No, to Kayvar.
Oh,
Because Kayvar, she's drawing her weapon.
An entire village is dead. We will not let that go unpunished.
Yes, and this medicine has saved an entire village and more before.
Kayvar, I understand your feelings here, but this isn't the way to deal with it.
I suggest you go
perhaps-
back the way you came.
Perhaps sir, may reach out to whatever family
I
members
don't
would be
believe
left.
I'll be doing that. I
Oh,
think
well-
that we're just going to have to dispose of this waste this way. And yes, it is a tragedy, a great tragedy, that happened to that village. But if there are no Emovirs there, that's kind of where my jurisdiction ends.
Right.
You're kind of a dickhead. Okay, right. We're all going to leave now. We're going to get rightfully drunk, and we're going to discuss further options another time. Well, there's nothing we can do here and now. They have us very outnumbered and very outgunned.
Yes, let's go check on Miss Ella Dora.
Okay?
Perhaps she's feeling better.
So as you guys
Although-
pass,
Before I go, can I just quickly go? Before we go, can I just quickly lean into whisper to the blade fella?
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lean in, and I'm gonna cast suggestion.
Okay.
And then, just because he's been a bit of a dick, I'm gonna lean in and suggest that he whispers into his ear and saying, "You know what sounds like a really good idea? Taking your underwear off without taking the trousers off first. Just rip them off.
What's your
Sounds like a really good
save?
idea." It's a wisdom save. DC is 13.
Jeez.
He does fail.
And then I turn around and I start walking.
You just hear him go, I wonder if that's possible. And
I
you
want him
hear,
to rip them off.
you hear, "Ah, ah,
Oh,
it's
you
not
might go.
possible.
Just keep trying. You'll get it eventually. Let's go. Go, 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 go. It's going to wear off in a second. Go, 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 go,
Oh, possibly, yes, yes.
After about a minute or so, you hear, son of a bitch!
go.
You guys
Idiot.
pass back through the forest relatively easily. It does seem that the poison has been nullified. You guys approach the village. Are you going around it or are you going through it?
I would like to go around it.
As you guys...
Oh.
I don't know about the rest, though.
Yeah, I
Maybe
want
I'll
to
do
go
it
through
once.
it.
You're going through
Yep.
it? One vote through it, one vote around
Yeah.
it? Okay,
I'm
Bar?
I can go. I will go through it as well.
Oh, well, then
Okay,
I'll
Bar, are
go
you
in, I'll
going
go with
around
him.
or are you going through?
Going through.
Percy, are you
I will. I
splitting
guess
the
I'll
party?
begrudgingly follow them.
As you guys approach this village, you hear voices. You hear
Oh.
laughter. You hear a baby's cry. You hear singing, and you hear tools being used. You hear them in 5-second bursts. They pause and repeat. I
Oh,
need everyone
no.
to roll perception checks.
Oh no. 16.
Nobody else notices this, but Coyle, you've heard this sort of thing before. You
I
know
stop everyone.
you guys have just crest past the first house. Coyle, you know that those are the sounds of Emivirs.
I
This
stop.
village is loaded.
Oh dear. Oh, we should go back. Oh no.
Everyone, make me a con save.
Natural 20, bitches.
3.
6.
Everybody but Coyle, you guys will take note you have 1 stack of emotional damage right now. Just note it on your sheet as 1 stack. You guys are all feeling incredibly sad. You feel like there's a deep depression settle in as you hear all this joyful sound around you in these 5-second bursts. Quietus, you recognize this. Coyle or not Coyle because you weren't affected. Quietus, you recognize this as the emotional drain of an emivir, which you know eats the emotion that it died with. So it will eat the happiness out of you, only leaving you with sorrow.
I believe we should go back and tell these I'm aware professionals what is happening.
Yes, we should make our way out as soon as possible.
Where are you going?
Yeah,
Huh?
Coyle is suggesting to head back to the Broken
Where
Blades
are
people.
you going?
Oh,
You see in front of you, with a red feather in her hair, the
fuck you.
walking and talking emivir of Molly. Where are you going? I feel so much better.
Oh
now.
yeah, just going through, sweetheart.
Look what I can do. He reaches out to one of the children Emivir's running past her, and you see it absorbing into her. She breathes in deeply, and you can see her form become solid for just a moment before flickering out again.
I recognize this, right?
You do recognize this.
We should run. We should run very fast.
Where are you going? I thought
Oh,
we were
just-
friends.
Oh no, we just have things to do.
You see her absorb another and another, as if they're all being sucked into her spirit.
Coyle starts to run.
I need you
I'm
to
gonna
run
cast-
it. Roll initiative.
Oh shit.
no.
Quietus, you're up first. You see that Molly has absorbed all of the emivirs in this hamlet. She appears to be glowing as if on fire with these ghostly silver flames. You can see in her eyes she's holding the entire tragedy of this village as a weapon. What would you like to do?
He's gonna look at his familiar and say, I know you wanted more of these. Is this what you want?
Looks delicious. You guys see that there is a tiny black dragon that is perched on Quietus's head.
He nods at that, and then he casts Eldritch Blast.
Oh, that's what you are.
I was also
As
thinking that.
you start to cast this eldritch blast, your familiar's eyes grow this flaming green, and you see this burst of lightning almost pierce through him into your arm as this concussive blast fires out. It hits Molly, and she screams in agony. How could you? They've done this to us!
I'm sorry, but you're already gone.
Next up, we have Percy. You watch as this peculiar green blast fires out of Quietus's arm. What are you doing?
Panicking, first and foremost.
Sure.
As you do.
Yes. So, I'm not good at combat. I am simply going to back up 30 feet. Then I'm going to Bardic Inspiration Kayvar. Now, my Bardic Inspirations have weird little effects on them, so when you use it, I'll tell you what they do, but depending on what you use it for, they do a thing. So within the next 7 minutes, you can add a d6 to an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw. And when you use it for one of those things, you get like an extra little effect. And so he's going to pull out a little, like a viol, like a little violin. He's gonna play a little ditty, and as he does, like a kind of music note, a physical music note kind of appears in existence and gets to hover around you in orbit. Then for my action, I'm going to take the dodge action.
You certainly can.
I cower a little.
Coyle, you see Percy kind of give Kayvar this inspiration, and her back straightens and her eyes narrow as she is kind of has this bolster to her. You saw the blast go forth. You see Molly that seems to be on fire with this rage and agony. What are you doing?
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'll do my. And he steps back, so he's like 30 feet from Molly.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the tip of his index finger like opens up, and you hear a big, loud banging noise, like a tiny explosion as I fire at the.
Right, go ahead and roll your attack.
That's a crit fail, so it jumps. Fuck.
You see Coyle with his impressive machine as it steps forward valiantly. The finger
No,
pops up.
this is from him that does it.
Oh, okay,
first.
well then you're still a machine.
Yeah.
His finger pops open and you hear click, 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 and nothing happens.
Oh, damn it. Albume! And his bonus action is going to tell Albume to attack.
Okay, what does Albume do?
He runs. So you see the two gems, oddly colored gems, as his eyes glow up brightly. And he runs up and he just goes to fucking hit this ghost. That would be 8 plus 5, which is 13.
13 just hits.
And they take 1d8 plus proficiency bonus. 8 points of force damage.
You see
So
the light in this construct's eyes glow up brightly, and that same color seems to surround the fist as it strikes forth. Molly attempts to dodge, but it actually catches her on the shoulder, and you see the image of her punch out as if a hole punch has pierced through her before reforming. She screams in anger, and you see these thick black tears start flowing down her face.
oh
After-
yes, fantastic, Albume. And he keeps a 30-foot distance.
Kayvar.
And
Yes,
You see that this construct, after an unimpressive demonstration from Coyle on his other invention, punched through this Emavir. What are you doing?
I'm gonna cast Magic Missile. That's spell level 1, all darts on her.
Alright, and I believe it's 6, right?
No, at level 1 it's 3.
oh, it's 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 1d for each.
Yeah,
Go ahead and
force
roll that
damage.
damage.
I'm sorry, Molly. 4, so 5. 5 again.
Oh.
3 and 4. So 3 blue glowing magical darts erupt from my arcane focus crystal.
You see them strike her like shooting stars, and she seems to actually absorb some of them as these blue streaks come up through her flames that she's on fire with. You see her kind of almost rub the areas where they were and look to see that if there was blood, but there's not. And she looks at all of you and says, "We were innocent! We didn't do anything!" She's going to make 3 attacks on Quietus, Kayvar, and Coyle.
Oh, not the big automaton standing right in front. Okay.
She doesn't recognize the automaton.
Fair enough.
I don't believe you brought it in when she was on her bed, correct?
He would be following around.
Yeah, but not really.
Probably
sort
could
of like
in the door.
Yeah, probably. It's a bit wide.
As she screeches in agony, you see these 3 beams of light emanate from her as she directs them at you. They seem to bend around corners as they seek you out. Coyle, you manage to dodge behind a board just in time. Quietus, you as well, managed to tumble out of the way as this almost laser-like beam cuts a solid trench in the ground next to you. But you, Kayvar, you take it straight to the chest as you are unable to get out of the way. You're going to take 6 points of psychic damage, and you're going to take another stack of emotional damage.
Oh.
Kayvar.
Emotional damage.
Yes. Kayvar, you feel depressed. You feel as if this battle isn't worth it. As if this fight isn't worth it. You feel a sense of malaise. That you don't feel like it's starting to be not worth it to fight anymore.
Ooh. Just slump a lot.
Since that is your second
Damage.
stack, you're going to roll your attacks at disadvantage.
Oh, shit.
Oh dear.
Oh, no.
You see Molly as she looks towards the well, and she says, "It was supposed to be our salvation!" Quietus, you managed to dodge that beam, but it was close. You still smell the singe of feathers. What are you doing?
I send out another Eldritch Blast.
Roll your attack. 19 hits. Whew. Okay. As you once again bolster this flame, this time your dragon skitters down on your arm as you have it extended and adds their flaming roar to your blast. It seems to thicken it and punch through Molly. Her entire torso evaporates like water before coalescing again. Do you have a bonus action that you'd like to use?
No.
Percy, you watched the others be attacked by this creature. What are you doing?
Panicking again, furiously.
Sure.
Then I could play another little ditty on the viol. We're gonna give another mote of potential, another bardic inspiration at. This one's gonna go to. We're gonna give this one to Coyle.
Oh, thank you.
No worries. That's my bonus action.
Sure.
Then for my action, I'm going to cast Silent Image. So he's going to kind of lift his hand to cover his mouth while he whispers. As he whispers, it's allowed to be like a 15-foot cube, basically.
Sure.
I want it to appear between some of the buildings, fairly near Molly. And I want it to look like I've forgotten the word for what she is. Sorry. Emivir. I want it to look like there's more Emivirs running between the buildings, like from one to the other.
Okay.
Because they're allowed to move. The movements appear natural for the image. However, it doesn't make sound, but I assume these things don't really make too much sound in the first place when they move. So I want to make a few of these like kind of ghosty creatures running from one building to the other, trying to get her attention.
Roll a performance.
Oh no, there's more of them.
A performance? Sure.
Oh, we're surrounded. Oh no.
That's a 21 on performance.
You see her look distracted. You see her gesturing towards them, trying to draw in these creatures, but unable to. I'll say that the next attacks until the end of your turn will get advantage on her.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so does that just negate disadvantage? Or
Yeah.
You
they
just
cancel out.
roll
Yeah.
straight.
yeah.
All right. And
Coyle,
in that case,
you see
Yeah,
sorry.
that
I wanted to go hide behind a building. That's all.
I assumed you were already doing that.
I did it. Okay, done.
Coyle, you see all these Emavirs have appeared. She seems to have her back towards you as she gestures towards them. Come, little ones. It's safe here. I'll save you.
Oh God. He quickly rummaged through one of his bags and he takes out some tools and he starts to like try and unjam his finger. Fucking +2, so
Sure.
15.
We'll say that works.
All right, and bonus action, tell Alduma to hit again.
Oh, you can't use your bonus action because you just use your bonus action to fix your gun. So you can use
Oh,
your
I
gun.
thought that was my action. Okay, my bad. All right, then I shoot.
Okay, go ahead and shoot.
25.
25 hits.
And that would be 9 points of piercing damage, magical.
Okay. So you actually manage to fire out, and you see this little point of light burst from Coyle's fingers. It pierces through the Emavir and almost seems to suck in a little bit of her essence as she recoils from the silent images and attempts to cover where the shot has pierced her.
Oh, there we go. That's my turn.
After you is Kayvar. Kayvar,
As the
is this fight even worth it anymore? What's the point? It's just going to be another disaster after another disaster. What are you doing?
does the advantage disadvantage thing still apply? Was that just one attack?
So you just, if you're rolling on her, then you're rolling just a straight because she has, it's essentially negated it. So it's a regular attack for you.
I'm going to use my bonus action,
Sure.
the Blade Song.
Okay.
Rapier is drawn, it starts to hum a little. Gives me +3 bonus to AC.
Ooh, okay. Noted. So you're at AC 16.
Yeah.
And what are you doing for your main action?
For my main action, I am going to cast the Firebolt cantrip.
My favorite cantrip. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Reminder, you have a D6 Bardic Inspiration.
Yes, I will use the Bardic Inspiration on that.
Good. You're gonna need
So,
that.
whenever you use the Bardic
That's
Inspiration...
13.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
13 just hits. So go ahead and roll damage.
It'll also need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
For motive potential, whenever you use one of my Bardic Inspirations for attack rolls, the little musical note that's floating around shatters in a thunderous manner. It's a DC 13, or if it fails, it just takes thunder damage equal to what you rolled in the Bardic dice.
It rolled a 19.
What?
Okay, so it doesn't take that damage.
Oh no, that was the Firebolt.
Jesus.
It still takes the regular fireball damage. Jesus.
You see Kayvar extend their rapier out, and this fire burns from the blade. It seems to hum in time with the song as Kayvar flings it towards the Emavir of Molly. The mote of music combines with it, creating a concussive blast as it seems to shatter the image of Molly. However, she quickly reforms. She seems to be fading at this point. Every time, every piece of her that you guys take out is giving her less and less strength. But it is her turn. She looks at you all. Why? And she's going to fire her desperation bolts.
Desperation bolts?
Yep.
I will actually use a reaction here.
Okay.
My Aldume will sort of try and get in the way because he has a reaction called Deflect Attack.
Okay.
So one of the attacks will be a disadvantage.
Kayvar, how many stacks of emotional damage do you have?
2.
You're going to take 10 points of psychic damage, and you have another stack of emotional damage, you have 2 layers of exhaustion. You are
Right.
not in this fight. Your heart's not in it. You're remembering every bad thing that's ever happened to you. This is a pointless battle. Life is pointless. There is no reason to go on. If you take another stack of emotional damage, you will die. Quietus. How many stacks of emotional damage do you have?
1.
1. Okay. You take 3 points of psychic damage. And you have 2 stacks of emotional damage on you. You are not feeling like this is a winnable fight. You are feeling despair. You have a disadvantage on your attacks. You wonder if the human cost of this is truly worth it. Professor Coyle.
Mm-hmm.
You look Molly in the eye and you feel as if she has it specifically out for you. As this piercing wave of despair comes at you so hard and so hot that your life briefly flashes across your eyes. And as
Before your eyes.
I'm gonna let you sit in that for a while.
I'm sorry.
Okay, if
Okay,
I'll
well,
just
let me
use the
just add
escape
another
crystal.
0 to this damage.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to narrate an entire 4-hour campaign. Excuse me for
I was trying
misspeaking.
to help. I was trying to be helpful.
I am in adversity here. My notes are covered. I have nothing.
I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna use the escape crystal on my next turn, unless you win this in the next few actions.
Oh,
As
No.
I take 1 more damage, I think I'm dead. Anyway.
That is
Coyle,
fair.
your life flashes before your eyes, and you see Albume step between you and this blast. And Albume is going to take 16 points of psychic damage
Ooh.
Ooh.
as you see him fizzle and
How
swarm
is he
with this
not?
blast.
How is it not immune to whatever? Okay, 16.
You hear Molly start to cry and wail as you feel the earth beneath you seem to draw your life force in. Go ahead and roll con saves,
Everyone.
everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And
Great
the
fail.
inspiration I had from the one shot, how do I use that again?
With the Bardic Inspiration.
No,
Oh,
no.
No,
The reroll with the one shot is anytime you roll any dice, you just say that you want to use it and you reroll that dice.
Okay.
So it is a free reroll. And all of you have it, I believe.
I
Except
don't.
for Coyle.
Because I've been sick, so I've kind of forgot it.
14.
14, you save.
Okay, good.
Kayvar, you take 1 point of
Oh,
psychic
no, I'm on 0.
Oop.
Oh.
Oh,
Percy, you take 2 points of psychic damage. Quietus, you take
Ow.
1 point of psychic damage. And Coyle, you take 2 points of psychic damage as you feel the very earth is drawing in your life force, as if it is yearning to draw you into it, as if it has become an Emavir itself.
how is it looking?
It's
Damage
looking
wise.
faded. She looks on the verge of losing her grip on this reality.
Okay.
Quietus, you just watched as Kayvar sunk into unconsciousness. You feel as if this is not a fight worth winning. The grief sinks into your heart. What are you doing?
He's gonna ready another Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
If I use my inspiration here, does it just make it a straight roll for my attack?
What you can do with it is just roll, and if it's not a good roll, roll again.
Okay.
Then you don't burn it if it's a good roll. Yeah, you hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Another max damage Eldritch Bolt. You are insane.
Please.
Quietus. Your dragon whispers into your ear. We can consume her. Unleash me. How do you want to do this?
Hey. Fuck yeah.
So as the blast goes into her, the dragon will fly around the blast, like intertwining with it, and then chomp at her.
You see this dragon seem to sink into Quietus's arm as it flies with the eldritch blast, and then it seems to consume the blast, becoming this great beast briefly. As it unfurls its eldritch flame wings, it clamps down on Molly as if cocooning her, and then for a moment you hear nothing, you see nothing, and then an explosion of green fire as this ghostly dragon slurps her into its mouth and then dissipates back into its tiny form, returning to Quietus once more.
Oh!
You-
That's something. Oh!
Kayvar, roll me a
yeah.
death saving throw.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
switch
I'll-
to Kayvar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go down sprinting over to Kayvar.
What is the
Roll your.
It's been a long time since I've played D&D. What's the death saving throw roll again?
It's just a straight d20.
Why is this the critical success?
It is.
Oh.
That means you stabilized and came to 1 HP. You actually wake up. So, Kayvar, you, as soon as Molly is dispatched, you feel almost a shimmer of life force as you gasp and kind of clutch your heart. That despair is still with you. All of you keep your emotional stacks. It has not gone away. You feel as if you are wounded. Percy, as you are hiding behind the building, you see before you a shade, a shadow of Molly. And she tucks something behind your ear and fades out, and all you hear is, "Thank you." Everyone else, the village appears to be quiet. It appears whatever had transpired here before has been laid to rest.
Coyle will sprint up to Kayvar and he will remove
Everything hurts.
Yeah, he will remove the tip of his pinky, and you see a needle underneath, and he just jams it in your side. And he will cast Cure Wounds.
Well,
You get 10 points of healing back. As some fucking liquid gets pumped into you.
Oh, that's a lot.
Oh, yes, of course.
That was an Emavir.
Yes, I believe a level 3, nonetheless. How about we make our way towards Miss Elidora? Yes?
Yeah, let's
And
check on
let's,
her and get a well-deserved break.
Yes, and let's not experience this ever again.
I can't believe you'd say that out loud and put that into the universe. All right, let's continue. Nothing. Let's go.
I will also cast Mending on Albume.
All right.
It occurs to me if I learn mending, I can help.
Yeah.
But I don't.
He regains 9. That should be enough.
So you guys are heading back to Eladora's hut, correct? Oopsie doopsie, what happened to the rest of the episode? Well, let me tell you, for some reason, the player's audio just stopped recording. So you have my audio, you have the rest of the stream, but unfortunately you can't hear the players. But to give you a brief epilogue, they did revisit Eladora, they did manage to save her life, and they returned to the Iron Ballista. Slightly changed from the people they were before. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, if you'd like to catch these episodes live, they're usually streamed on Twitch. If you join my Discord, you'll see the full schedule. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Bye-bye.